Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. 4 Buckeyes drafted last night in round 1 of the NFL draft. A couple more look to come off the board tonight as rounds 2 and 3 get underway at 7. We'll join coverage here on The Fan at 8 after the Buckeye show. This afternoon over on The Fan 2, the Buckeye baseball team with a doubleheader at Rutgers. Coverage with Tyler Danberg and Bob Spears begins at 1:55. After an off day yesterday, the Cincinnati Reds and Cleveland Guardians starting new series this evening. Down in Cincy, the Reds hosting the Detroit Tigers at 6:40. You can hear that on the Fans HD3 at 6:10. Cleveland heads north of the border to face the Toronto Blue Jays at 7:07. Darren Dreger reporting that the Blue Jackets goalie Jet Greaves will be one of 3 goalies on Team Canada for the upcoming World Championships. This one's sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
So where's the office, back at Division? The in office, baby. Going up.
All right, let's do this on a football Friday. Pittsburgh, PA. Center of the universe last night. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and we welcome Zeke in from the bullpen. Good to see you, fellas.
What up, what up? It's always good to see you. Zeke is back in the house. It's good to see him. I hope everybody's having a nice start to their weekend. Another Friday has arrived, and I'm here to tell you, you don't have to work tomorrow. You're good. There's nothing tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I know last week you had a little extra lap around the track. You're a pro. You knocked it out the park. But now you can ease into the weekend and have it all to yourself.
There we go.
How you feeling, man? You good?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that was nice. They packed it all in 3 hours like I thought. Like that was a nice little package. 8 o'clock to 11. Picks are coming fast and furious. You're seeing the trades.
Yeah.
The pick is in. Here we go. The walks down the hallway. The logo slaps I liked.
I'm here for that. I do like that.
We're all good.
Yeah, man. I was on the NFL Network broadcast, so I was rolling with Rich Eisen, Joel Klatt, Charles Davis, and Daniel Jeremiah. So I was over there.
School.
Where were you at? You were
ESPN.
with just straight up, because I think they had the game day guys on ABC, I believe, with Herbie and Reese and all those guys. So you were Mel, Greeny, Booger, and Lewis?
Yes, that sounds right.
Okay. I'll say this. There were a few times to where Rich Eisen is just ripping off, hey, this team's pick is in, this team's pick is in, this team's pick is in. That shot clock was moving. We were moving and grooving, man.
I'll tell you, for the first time, I did not go to Twitter. I was not on it. I actually watched the draft as it unfolded, and I could see, obviously, if there was a trade, but I was not going to tip the picks to myself.
Twitter.
I wasn't on Twitter either, but I did notice that Shefty was tweeting out the picks after we found out, which I liked. He was rolling with Team X selected player Z. And there were some people that were still tweeting them out before we found out, but I noticed that Shefty wasn't one of those people doing that, and I appreciated that last night. He waited a little bit.
It was a wild ride.
It really
was. And it was one of those things, and it started for me, and clearly it was one of those times where Arizona was kind of the fork in the road, man. The fact that they took Jeremiah Love at 3, not even settled on an offensive line, not even really feeling great about the quarterback situation. Yeah. And the fact that they went, I mean, I'm not saying they didn't address a need. They have a lot of them, and you have to prioritize them. But, I mean, they're 31st in total rushing. But that's not always on the running back. That's usually on the blocking. Now, he's everything. He checks everything, the speed, quickness, physicality, home run hitting ability. The fact that they don't have a team around him tells me either that they had to stick and pick and they went with best player available, which is clearly what happened. I don't know what they've said. I don't even know if they'd admit how much they shopped the pick. But they had a chance at that point to get Arvell Reese, and they decided not to. They didn't go with an edge guy. They didn't go with an offensive lineman. They actually did say, we are taking the best football player. That's what they did. Who am I to say? It doesn't feel like I said yesterday, they put the cart before the horse. Now, can he get defenses to respect them more? Of course. But boy, I don't think they were ready for that.
I completely agree with exactly what you just said there. There were two teams in my mind that I didn't think were ready to drop that type of talent into their offense, and it really mattered immediately. And it was the Arizona Cardinals and the Tennessee Titans. But there was a lot of the Tennessee Titans, Jeremiah Love mocking going on with all these mock drafts that we were seeing. I thought would be ideal for him is just as far as fit would be hey, go to Washington with Jaden Daniels. Somehow, some way, if Kansas City could have got their hands on him, that would have been a better fit. But they're probably thinking, we think this guy is the next Bijan Robinson or Christian McCaffrey. And if that's your mindset and how you view the player, then you don't pass up on that guy. You just don't. I agree with you. It feels clunky right now, but this may work out in time. And again, it may be year 2, year 3 to where we're looking back and saying it was worth the pick at the time because I think he's crazy talented as well. But, man, to your point, just a lot of question marks about the future of that team, especially what's going on under center. So, yeah, that pick and then what happened right after that, I think, was eye-opening for some people.
Yes, because we thought that Tennessee would take Love if he made it to 4.
And when he didn't get there, my mind immediately went to Robert Saleh taking somebody on defense as a defensive-minded head coach.
There were Sonny and Arvell were right there.
Right there.
Caleb was there. If you even wanted to reach because of a safety, and that would be reach from a positional standpoint.
Yeah.
But they took a receiver to help their young quarterback. And Carnell gets to the interview, and he is as confident as anybody. I'm always open, and it had to get people excited.
Oh, yeah.
And we've seen it up close and personal. That it's a great pick from a talent standpoint, but it just feels to me like the receivers, there was just more depth there, and you had to feel lucky that Arvell was there. I mean, the Giants were thrilled that Tennessee went with Carnell. I'm sure.
I like what they did, though.
Tennessee?
Yeah. I'm in on helping out your young quarterback however you can, because if Jeremiah Love was there, I think that would have been the pick. So that was their mindset is that we got this guy who we think is going to be a premier quarterback in this league for years and years to come. Let's help him out however we can. They come back around in the first round and draft a pass rusher in Falk. So Robert Saleh is going to feel good about that. But they were hell-bent on offense. That was kind of the vibe around them leading up to the draft. And then they put their money where their mouth is. And you look at their wide receiver room right now. It's Calvin Ridley, an aging guy. You bring in Wan'Dale Robinson from the Giants, who's a good player. But they needed a number one. And so I like the pick for them, even though we didn't talk much about Carnell going to Tennessee at 4.
Yeah. Listen, I wasn't right about much last night in the top 10. I don't think a lot of people were. It was all over the place.
Yeah, it was wild, man.
And it was all over the place because while Love was there at 3 and they took him, I just didn't think they would do that. Arizona and that's what set it on its ear for me. The Carnell Tate going to Tennessee wasn't a shock, but it was when Reese was still there, and I didn't think he would be. Then all of a sudden they could have pivoted and gone with a very high ceiling upside defensive guy. And so they go with a wide receiver, and the Giants are sitting there now going, you know what? This league is about 2 things, throwing the football and affecting the thrower of the football. And that's what they did. You believe that the Giants were sitting there at 5 thinking that Arvell Reese would be there? No, they probably thought we're good either way. We're going to take Sonny or we're going to take Arvell. And so now they take him, and now you have Abdul Carter, Brian Burns. I don't know what they're going to do with Kayvon Thibodeau.
He might be on the way out of there.
He might be now.
It might be a trade.
But can you imagine going up against them trying to pass the football?
Man, that's waves of good pass rushers is never a problem. I'm always in on that. I'm wondering, AR, if maybe Harbaugh is, and they're looking at him right now as maybe the off-ball linebacker and have him stand
Put
up
him right in his wheelhouse,
Yeah, because he's always going to have the ability to heat up the quarterback. He hasn't done a ton of that just yet in his career, But I think when you look at Arvell and what he provides, I can understand why they would say, hey, we have all these pass rushers, but because of what he has in his bag, we can stand him up maybe in year one and have him just fly around and get to people as well. And so, yeah, I was surprised, though, that they came back around at 10 and didn't go with a wide receiver. I thought that they would select a wide receiver, and maybe if Jordan Tyson would have gotten there, then that would have been what they would have done. But the Saints took Jordan Tyson, then they come back around, that being the Giants, and they grab Francis Maui-Noah.
Which is fine. If that was their top lineman, that's fine. Part of me believed yesterday I had the Buckeyes going bookends to the Giants, and I thought it was set up for that. I thought Caleb Downs was there. The Giants were going to take him, and they were just going to lean into old school Giants football. We are going to defend you everywhere. And that's the pick that I wanted for them. And the curious part about it is they pass on him, and then a team in their own division comes up and takes Caleb Downs.
Did you see Malik Neighbors' reaction to Caleb Downs going to Dallas? He wanted them to take Caleb Downs. Like, he was kind of even questioning where Arvell's going to play. He mentioned he respects him as a player. He loves the player, but he's curious about, like, where does he even fit within our defense? And now Malik Neighbors is throwing it out there. He's talking about how good of a player Caleb Downs is, and now he's going to have to go up against him twice a year for years to come. And so I think it's a good fit for Caleb as well. Like, this guy's played for Alabama, Ohio State, and the Dallas Cowboys. You talk about branding, strong brands.
No doubt.
Doesn't get much better than that.
All right, we're going to come back, and we'll keep examining. We've got clearly the stunner with the quarterback, but we'll get into the Cleveland decision yesterday and how it panned out and how it is, I guess, registering with Browns Nation. That's next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Before the lights go down, before the first chord hits, start your night the right way with Jameson Irish Whiskey at the ultimate pre-concert party. Join us at the O on Lane for ice-cold drinks, great vibes, and the smooth taste of Jameson flowing all night long. Grab your crew, raise a glass, and get concert ready with Jameson specials, music, and the kind of energy that only happens before the show. Jameson at the O on Lane, where the night really begins. Drink responsibly. Taste responsibly. Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025. Imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
Hop into savings this spring with Ohio Mulch. For a limited time, save $100 on home delivery at ohiomulch.com. What sets Ohio Mulch apart? Premium pine bark mulch made from southern pine, long-lasting and perfect for hydrangeas and azaleas. Better mulch, better results. Ohio Mulch.
No one plans to get into an accident, but when it happens, we strive in making life easier for you. This is Justin Hinderer. The Hinderer Motor Company Collision Center is ICAR certified and certified by many manufacturers to provide the best quality repair available. All of our repairs come with a lifetime warranty. We have our own 24/7 towing service so you never have to wait. Plus, we offer on-site rental cars for every lifestyle. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
This spring, celebrate the sparkle that she brings to your life with something that sparkles right back. Whether it's for Mother's Day, an anniversary, or just because, Diamond Cellar has the perfect gift for the women who mean the world to you. Visit Diamond Cellar today on Selma Road and at Easton Town Center.
There's nothing more meaningful you could do for yourself, your family, and friends than finally getting rid of that pain so they can enjoy time with you again, especially heading into the vacation season. Here, let me help you. Dr. Tessner and his team at QC Kinetics take care of your pain in the office, and you can go right on with your day that easy. So if you say yes to any of these questions, you are the kind of patient QC Kinetics regenerative treatments help every day. I have consistent joint pain in my knees, hips, shoulders, or back. Pain keeps me from getting a good night's sleep. I'm missing work or saying no to activities that I enjoy. I don't want surgery and a long recovery. I am at the end of my rope, taking medication every day just to get through. Did you answer yes to more than one of those questions? Today could be your day to turn that corner and finally get relief. QC Kinetics are easy, done in the office here in Dublin and Gahanna. The consultation is free, so don't wait. It'll be the most meaningful thing you do for yourself and the people who care about you. Call 380-208-4544, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Grilling season starts now at Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Who's Vice President J.D. Vance's pick for Ohio Treasurer? America First conservative Jay Edwards.
As the first state lawmaker to endorse Donald Trump for president, Jay Edwards has been on the front lines, standing up to the rhinos and leftists since day one. Now, we need a MAGA fighter who protects our Ohio tax dollars as our treasure. And that's what Jay Edwards has always done. He sponsored the largest tax cut in Ohio history, saving families over $3.1 billion. Jay Edwards has never been afraid to do what's right and fight for our values. That's why he's a 100% pro-life and 100% pro-gun conservative, earning the highest possible rating from Ohio gun owners. He's the proven America First leader we need to clean up fraud and keep our money safe. Endorsed by J.D. Vance, Jay Edwards for Ohio Treasurer.
Paid for by Friends of Jay Edwards.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh, no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A beautiful way to end the work week with daytime highs in the mid to low 80s, but it will be breezy with mostly sunny skies. Chances of showers and thunderstorms this evening with lows around 60. And then for Saturday, we do have a slight chance of showers, otherwise a mostly cloudy to partly cloudy day and cooler with highs in the low 70s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Matty is a diehard Reds fan. I mean, where else is he going to go? You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
I knew this was going to happen. That somehow people were going to find a way to just crap all over the Browns draft. Now, I'm not here to tell you this is going to be a guarantee. All I know is they were true to themselves. They traded down to get the guy they wanted. They only traded 3 spots down to get Spencer Fano, the big tackle from Utah, who they may have taken at 6 anyway. And they wound up getting more compensation for it. Kansas City, of all teams, wanted to come up 3 spots, and they gave him 2 additional picks, a 3rd and a 5th. 74 overall and 148. So they take Fano, and then maybe this is the one that people were like, I didn't like this receiver. He's too small. He's got some dropsies. Casey Concepcion from Texas A&M at 24. We knew they were going receiver lineman one way or the other. And Tate was gone. Burned. It's gone. Like, I would say that was what I would like to know. Remember last year when I was pushing for, like, people to ask Andrew Berry, so clearly you like Dylan Gabriel more than Shedeur. Well, you know, we have them both. Yeah, but clearly you liked him more because Shedeur was available and when you picked Dylan. Yeah, listen, we got them both. I mean, we're good. I mean, we like them both.
Answer the question,
we saw some
Andrew.
value. But you definitely liked one of them more than the
100%.
other. All right. So the question now is to the Browns, and you wouldn't know, if Tate dropped to you, would you have taken him? Would you have stuck and made the pick? We'll never know. I won't know. You won't know. Nope. Zeke won't know.
O's the mentalist might know.
O's might know.
He might know.
I really like what they did. It allowed them to move down and take their guy. Now, some people would have rather had Caleb Downs at 9. All right, I can see that. They had tackles on their board. This guy is a beast, and nobody knows where he's going to play, and that's the good news. They have options. They could play him anywhere. They're trying to find enough offensive line to build their team the right way. He won the Outland last year. He was the top interior lineman. He was a first-team All-American. He played right tackle in college. He does have shorter arms, but he could get a look on the left side and be okay. They have Quinshawn coming back from injury. They have Dylan Sampson, and they improved their team where a lot of people think it needed a lot, and where most teams like to be good is in the trenches. So the only way this doesn't work is if Fano is overhyped, overrated somehow, and there's no science to this. I like what they did. I had no problem with that. I'd move in 3 spots to get the lineman you liked anyway with Tate off the board.
You know, the Browns have made a real effort this offseason to get this offensive line in order, right? We talked about it a lot this week where you look at the veteran guys they brought in prior to the draft with Johnson and Jenkins and Howard. And now here you are again adding to that room, which I was in favor of, whether they stuck where they were originally with 6 and 24, just come out of the first round with some type of combination of an offensive lineman and a wide receiver. And they did that. The Fanu thing and the Concepcion thing, like the one word that I went to bed thinking about with both guys now, you know, being in that building is versatility, because you just touched on what Fano can do, and Concepcion has some versatility with his game to where you can line him up. The only thing that I would be fearful of if I were a Browns fan is what happened to us a few years ago when you took Jedrick Wills at 10 and then Tristan Wirfs comes off the board at 13 and he turned into a Pro Bowl, All-Pro type of offensive lineman. Now you're going to have to live in this world to see whether or not Francis Mauigoa or Fano is going to be the better offensive lineman. So that's kind of the only question I have about this, is that to me, Mauigoa just seems like an absolute dude, right? And when you have a guy that's versatile in Fano, does that mean he's not very good at one thing, or does that mean he's good at so many things that you don't have to worry about much? The Concepcion thing, the drops you can't ignore. Like watching the NFL Network broadcast, they were highlighting like some of his pros and cons, and then right there in all caps was too many drops. That, to me, if I were a Browns fan, would freak me out, especially knowing that Jerry Jeudy in our wide receiver room has been one of the worst in the league at catching the rock consistently. And so I see the vision of what they think he can be, but when you're telling me right out of the gate that a guy has a hands issue, that is, it doesn't make you feel great. But we all just got to wait and see what he can turn into. And also, you got to hope that behind him in the draft was Omar Cooper Jr. that went to the Jets, and he doesn't turn out to be a better player.
Yep. And he's smaller, right? He's not 6 foot.
Right.
That's where I could see if Browns fans said, okay, I'm okay with the lineman because none of us are scouting linemen.
Right.
And if they tell me that he won the Outland and he's the best lineman this season, then I can live with that. Like a normal guy can live with that.
I was texting a Browns fan after the Mauigoa pick, and he goes, man, I think it was Laura Rutledge. I was asking him, like, what's your message to Jackson Dart? He'll go, I'll die about this. I'll die about this blank.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
I'm going to die for him or something?
That's what I want from the offensive lineman. Not that Fano doesn't have that mentality, but it was just something about hearing Mauigoa say it right after their pick where I was like, oh, okay. Did they take the right one?
I'm watching some of this Concepcion highlight. I mean, he's really fast.
He's electric.
He is fast.
He is.
I mean, yes, it's integral to catch the football. Your speed does us nothing if you don't have the football in your hands. But,
right.
He runs a lot of good routes, man. He does. And by the way, what was it, like 7 drops? I was telling Reese earlier, I'm like, hey, why don't you talk about all the passes he did catch instead of just the ones he didn't? Nobody catches everything.
Oh, man.
Let's look at the glass half full, Cleveland, for once in a while.
Yeah. Isaiah, you are a Browns fan.
I am.
How are you feeling right now?
I wanted Carnell Tate at 6. He was gone. So then it's Spencer Fano.
Okay.
And we traded down, got Spencer Fano, and got 2 more picks. Perfectly happy with that.
Okay.
And then the back end, I felt like any wide receiver you take at the back end of the first round, you got a 50-50 shot. He's either going to be good or he's not. And if they felt good about Concepcion, I feel good about it. I feel like a lot of Browns fans' trepidation is they're still hung up on Andrew Berry, right? A lot of Browns fans wanted him gone when Stefanski went. And so now seeing him draft again, I think if somebody different, for certain Browns fans, if somebody different had picked these people, they would be happier.
See, that's interesting to me, AR, because coming off the draft that Andrew Berry just had, I thought they'd be a little bit more confident in his abilities, because I liked the draft class last year, like Schlesinger and Fannin and Quinshawn. I'm like, okay, like he's cooking a little bit here.
They all don't hit 1,000, man.
That's interesting that he's saying, like, Browns fans that he's talked to, there's still a lot of doubt.
Absolutely.
I guess, in Andrew Berry. Okay.
The first thing when Fano got drafted, the first thing that people tweeted out was Jed Wills 2.0. Can he move from right tackle to left tackle? The very first question. And in the back end of the draft with Concepcion, the very first thing we're going to hear is Austin Schwartz. We want a fast guy that can't catch, right? And so for me, those players that previously failed under Andrew Berry have nothing to do with the people they drafted last night. I mean, you can't just keep on saying, oh, well, Jed Wills couldn't transition, so this guy that Andrew Berry drafted will not be able to transition.
Right. And everything he touches turns to fudge. Like I don't agree. I agree with you. I'm in that. I think it's easy to hit them up for their misses more than praise them for their hits. If Casey Concepcion turns into Doug Baldwin, who's the receiver that I'm thinking of?
From Seattle, Doug Baldwin?
Doug Baldwin.
Yeah.
If he's Doug Baldwin and Omar Cooper turns into Deebo Samuel, then okay, it's a wash. You did fine. Like one would have to bust and the other guy would have to be great for this to be a foregone conclusion that Cleveland picked the wrong receiver. And Omar's not that much taller. He did have the catch of the year. And I loved his parents wearing the shirts. Catch of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It was very cool. And so this is where we are. I think the interesting thing for me would have been is if Tate would have fallen. And I believed yesterday that they would have been tempted enough to do it. And at the beginning of the show, I was all about Fano. Take Fano. Just do it. There's receiver depth in this draft. But then by hour 3, I was like, if he's there at 6, let's do it. Let's do it. You'll find another lineman somewhere. But that was what they were dealing with. Yeah. And maybe, I'd really love to know if they were not happy he was gone. But sometimes when you're drafting and a decision is taken out of your hands, you can settle into it. You make more peace with it. Right?
So are you saying maybe in their minds they didn't think that highly of Carnell, that they were okay that he wasn't there?
No, I'm not saying they didn't think highly of him. I'm saying that they believed there was receiver depth, and we're probably going to take Fano anyway at 6, even if Tate's there. And now that Tate's gone, the temptation gets sucked out of the room. It doesn't matter anymore. No one ever now can judge the Browns about taking Spencer Fano over Carnell Tate. That is gone. And that's what I think they can sleep better at night, knowing that there might be a lot of people that always compare to him when we watch how good. Yeah. Now, they're two drastically different positions.
Yeah.
It's Jamar Chase and Penei Sewell. Now, I don't think it'll ever get to that level.
Right.
But that's what we were talking about yesterday.
This comes down to Maui Noah and Omar Cooper and their careers for the Browns.
That's right.
And seeing what that looks like. But, the Chiefs bust a move. They come on up there to 6. They get their corner to replace Trent McDuffie, who they sent to the L.A. Rams, which we'll get to that here in a moment. But I think overall, it's fine what they did. I don't love the Concepcion pick. I got to be honest. Fano, I'm in on that. You build the trenches. I'm support that all day and tomorrow. Casey just doesn't seem like, to me, it's got a little bit of that Xavier-worthy gadget player vibe to me right now, which isn't a bad thing. But they also took him in the first round, that being the Chiefs, and that pick now just looks okay right now.
Here's the interesting thing, Matty. He doesn't drop any punt returns. So maybe if they just lob the ball a little more,
Hail Marys,
that'll be perfect. No more slants.
Oh, man.
No more adjusting to the speed of the football.
Okay.
We just shag fly balls with this guy.
Yeah.
Just go deep.
I think they may need to add another receiver, too, this weekend.
Yeah, and by the way, this isn't the end of their draft.
No. But coming out of the first round, it's like, okay.
All right, I had an epiphany last night, as I was falling asleep last night, and I believe an analyst, who I like very much, was setting up his own prediction. You'll hear that next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Sun, splashes, and nonstop fun await at Zoombezi Bay.
Get your season pass for unlimited thrills,
including our all-new conservation tower. Buy now at ZoombeziBay.com.
The Reds are on the radio.
Swung on, crushed, high, deep, left field. There it goes. A 3-run go-ahead blast for Eugenio Suarez. They're waving around Friedel. Up throwing Anthony. Throw to the plate, not in time. And the Reds walk it off at 11, 6-5.
The quest for October baseball is underway. Hear all the action all season long on your home of the Reds.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, will foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Common Man here for GoGermain.com. I have been telling you about my friends at Germain for a long time, and it's because they bring the goods. And right now, you get $3,000 over Kelley Blue Book on your trade during the Germain Trade and Upgrade Sales Event. Yes, cue the trumpets. Nearly 4,000 new and pre-owned vehicles, plus an extra $3,000 on your trade means your budget goes further. And with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Get started now at GoGermain.com.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony finally hit a hole-in-one.
It's in the hole.
So now what? Just bask in the glory?
And that's how she wrote.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, so the stunner, he went early. Thought he'd go in the first round. Thought somebody would trade up to get him. I did not think, and the Rams certainly were in play for him, but I think 13 was quite high. But there was one guy always leading the charge for Ty Simpson, and that was Dan Orlavsky, who on the show yesterday I told you I like very much. I like what he does for ESPN. He has been a real find for them. Wasn't a franchise quarterback, but he does his homework. He's really articulate, and I think he gives his strong opinion. But this one, this smells funny to me. Not that he wasn't touting him. He's been touting him for a while. But something happened on our show yesterday, and we'll play this clip. This was the pre-draft clip from Orlovsky, his last words on Ty Simpson. And I remember when we came out of that clip, I looked at you and I had an observation about it. And now I'm starting to put the pieces together a little bit. So here's the clip from yesterday before the draft of Orlovsky on Ty Simpson.
I've been on this for a while. I agree. I'll simply say it. If he's not a first-round pick tonight, then we are evaluating, in the NFL, the quarterback position wrong. We just are. I'll start with this. Number one, Alabama was a bad football team last year. In the context of who Alabama has been, not a very good football team. We're talking about a run game that was 128th in America last year. We're talking about an offensive line that was 110th in America last year. We're talking about a wide receiver group, a tight end group that was 130th in drops last year. This was not a very good football team. And if everybody wants to live in the world where you're not going to draft a kid because he had 15 starts, God bless you. You're allowed to track historical data and lean on that. All I know is the tape says he's no question, at worst, around middle of a first-round draft pick. And if he's not tonight, I'll be the first person to say I was wrong in it. But that means we're not evaluating the quarterback position properly.
All right. So when that clip played yesterday, I looked at Maddie and I said, you don't have to apologize for that. Your apology would be 3 years from now if he doesn't pan out. That's when you apologize. You don't say, I'll apologize if he's not a middle round first pick. Nobody has a crystal ball. That was weird. That was like that was a buzzer that went off for me yesterday.
Okay.
Now, at that time, I wasn't predicting the Rams. I was predicting the Cardinals. So the red flag wasn't quite there for me. It was like kind of in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Then last night, what happens? He gets drafted by a team that moves up, right? Or no, were the Rams sitting there?
I believe that was their original.
From Atlanta?
I believe
Yeah,
so.
okay, yeah.
There was so much
from
movement
Atlanta, right.
yesterday, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where they were originally picked.
Then I started to think, all right, there's your middle round pick, 13, actually a little higher than middle round. Yeah. He said that in that clip. Who in the world is apologizing if a quarterback that some people don't even believe is a first rounder is going to apologize if he isn't middle of the first round?
Nobody.
Crazy. It's crazy. Then he gets pick 13. Guess who? Then the story comes out that the Rams of all teams actually did inform their quarterback, unlike Rodgers, unlike Kirk Cousins, that we're going to take a quarterback high in this first round. Then you go back in your mind. Who's best friends? Dan Orlovsky and Matthew Stafford. Former teammates, great friends. There is no way. He knew they were making the pick because he called Stafford. I guarantee it. Or they talked. They're good friends. I'm doing draft coverage. What are you guys going to do? Well, they've already told me, Dano, they're taking Ty.
I think
so. He went on yesterday saying what he said. I believe, just my opinion,
and he knew
that
what was happening.
Absolutely knew the Rams were taking him. And guess what else he knew? That nobody would be dumb enough to jump the Rams at 13 to steal him.
Shout out to you. This is great investigating work right here by you. I mean, this is
I can't
tremendous
prove
stuff.
it.
You were
Facts
on this
not
yesterday.
in evidence, but I was on it a little bit yesterday.
You were sniffing this
Why
out
are you
yesterday.
apologizing if he's not a middle-round pick?
I think it's a great call.
You can apologize to all of us in 5 years.
Yeah.
You have plenty of time to apologize.
Stafford
That you
tipped
said
him.
he was the number one quarterback and he's going to be better than anybody in this draft. And he may turn out to be right because now he gets to sit and be mentored by Stafford. He doesn't get forced in. His growth doesn't get stunted. And maybe he will turn out to be great. But you can't tell me that that prediction yesterday did not come with very much inside information.
It did.
And he knew they were taking him. And that's why he said, if he doesn't get taken in the middle round, I'll apologize.
It came from the MVP himself.
Had to have.
The reigning MVP and Matt Stafford said, hey, Dio,
they talked.
Can you believe this?
Yeah.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah, they told me, which I have to give him a little, that they went to him. How it was received, we have no idea.
I got a question for you.
All right.
So they told their starting quarterback, but did they tell their head coach? Because based off the body language and the energy that I was reading from Sean McVay, and look, I'm no pro, doctor, therapist, psychologist, anything. He did not seem like a happy customer.
They told him, but he wasn't happy.
When did they tell him? I don't think they told him.
I think they did. I think he was just still dripping with anger over not getting Kenyon Sadiq or somebody they could have had that could help him win now. I think he's a coach. He wants to win.
Zeke, do you have audio from McVay?
See if I can find someone here.
Well, by the way, wasn't he also a coach that was contemplating leaving the business?
He was.
Like, if he's sticking around, he doesn't want to wait for Ty Simpson. He may not even be coaching Ty Simpson. He wants to win now in a Super Bowl time. They're not rebuilding with a first-year head coach. I think he was wearing his anger on his sleeve, not that he didn't know.
Here's McVay on Ty Simpson.
John, did you have a conversation with Matthew about this pick?
Yeah, I did.
What did you tell him?
I'll keep that between us.
Do you expect Ty to back up Matthew?
We'll see. He's going to compete with Stetson.
He's going to compete with Stetson. Yeah. It did sound like the initial question out of the gate in that clip was, have you talked to Matt about it? So how that conversation went, we'll never know. It just didn't seem like a coach to me, AR, that was excited about that draft pick.
No.
Because I think it's what you just laid out. They were knocking on the door last year. I didn't think this was a possibility for this team anymore when they got rid of the extra first-round pick that they had. If they would have had that still, I would have understood them taking a swing and going through this process of him sitting for a year or two or whatever that may be. And this may be a non-issue in the weeks and months to come. Maybe McVay will get over this. I just felt like it was a bit of a surprise to him in some form or fashion. Whether he knew or he didn't know, he was sitting back and thinking, why?
I think your instincts are correct. Certainly his body language and the way he sounded was not that they were, quote, all on board with the pick. He's a coach. He can win now. He's got a team that can contend for the Super Bowl, and I needed another weapon or somebody that would help me win. I don't need a project quarterback who started one season in college, who is 57% completion behind, yes, a bad O-line, but also has had nagging injuries. And guess what? He's not bigger than life either.
6'1".
Yeah. So
doing some change.
Of course, he was genuinely not happy. We're picking 13 and we can win it all this year.
I thought they were going Mekhi Lemon. With the uncertainty around Puka and what's going on with him, and can you really trust him and all that? You got an aging Devontae Adams, who, while he was really good for you last year, is on definitely the back nine of his career. And so this feels like Atlanta, right, where we're kind of coming out of the first round and saying, wait a minute, you drafted Michael Penix when you just brought in Kirk Cousins and you paid Kirk Cousins. And so this may work out well for them. We shall see. The team that usually is about the right now makes a move about the future. And that was surprising because this is not how the Rams really operate. But when you feel like you can find the guy at that position and give yourself even more runway as a GM, there's, I'm sure, a lot of GMs that agreed with what they did. And then I hear Tom Pelissero talking this morning on the NFL Network about how Les Snead, the GM for the Rams, and Ty Simpson's dad, who I guess is a coach somewhere in college, are really good friends. And apparently this has been in the works for months. That's what Tom Pelissero reported this morning.
The only good news about the pick today is that he doesn't have to start
anytime soon.
That's what you're selling. We drafted our quarterback of the future.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look what my team did the other year. They drafted J.J. McCarthy, and they've already paid for that, but they rescued it with a very cheap deal on a guy that's much more proven. And the Rams certainly have currency with their fan base because they've won it all. They've been to the top of the mountain. They made the trade golf for Stafford. It turned out great. But this one kind of sets it back a little bit. This tells me that we're not in the blank them picks anymore. We're not putting all our chips in the middle. We're going to have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. We are going to plan for the future. But the interesting part for me is that they definitely told Stafford, because that's been reported. They gave him the courtesy that that's what they were going to do. Now, it didn't matter whether he loved it or hated it. They just gave him the courtesy. That means he wasn't blindsided.
Yeah, and I'm sure Les Snead has a feel and has had conversations with Stafford about how much more do you have left. And I'm sure he's left those conversations feeling like, as a GM, this guy that while he is still really, really good, probably has 1 or 2 years left, and I got to protect myself and the franchise with the most important position in finding a guy for the future.
Yeah. Whether they did or not is the big question. Yeah. Whether this was the draft to do it, because they are a contender.
100%.
And that's what's got people scratching their heads, that they're not a rebuild with an aging quarterback. All right, we're going to come back with overs and unders into the weekend. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Matty Ice here. Do you need a vehicle that has room for the whole family? Then check out the 26 Chevrolet Traverse at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. This month, lease a brand new 26 Traverse for as low as $379 a month for 39 months for $3,998. Due at signing for qualified buyers. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details. Deal ends April 30th, so don't wait. Visit McDaniel GM Superstore, located off 23095 in Marion, or online at McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Hey, it's Bo Bishop here. You've heard me talk about High Bank Spirits, but the food is just as good. Brunch worth planning your weekend around. Seasonal dinners perfect for date night or game night. Plus, kids eat half off every Monday. Find menus and locations at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone here for Window Nation. Spring has arrived, and it'll be a great time to open your windows. But oh, wait, your windows don't open easily. They leak when it rains. They've got cracked glass. They need repainting again. Ugh, getting top quality custom fit windows from Window Nation, that's easy and affordable. Right now, during the More You Buy, the More You Save sale, you could save up to 50% off all your windows. Plus, you could get them with 0 interest for 5 years. During uncertain times, one of the best investments you can make is in your home. Experts report that windows retain 80% of their value. With Window Nation, you'll get windows that easily slide open and closed. They are made with top quality seals so they won't leak when it's rainy or windy. And unlike other windows, they're maintenance free. They're so good, Window Nation stands behind them with a lifetime warranty. And they're rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Save big with Window Nation's The More You Buy, The More You Save sale. Going on now. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com for your consultation.
Parents, are your teens good with money? No. Switch to Huntington Bank and let's teach them. They get their own card, which they can add to their digital wallet, and you can monitor and set spending limits. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Last year, I had back pain radiating down my right leg. The pain was so bad I was willing to cut my leg off to stop the pain. I could barely walk and had to stoop over when I did just to take pressure off the spine. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. In my professional career, I've represented thousands of people who've had herniated discs and issues with their neck and back, but never fully appreciated what they were going through until it was my turn. It's like trying to describe colors to a blind person who's never had sight.
All I can tell you is it hurt like hell, but worse. My daily walk was gone, and that bothered me a great deal. Then I thought of all of you and how much more devastating this type of injury could be for you. My life stopped. I now feel your pain. Just know at Morgan & Morgan, we got your back. I understand. Morgan means more.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. White elastomeric roof coating stops leaks and revives aged flat roofs. It lowers roof temperature by reflecting heat from the sun, helping you save on energy costs. And it's easy to apply with a brush, roller, or sprayer. Shop our entire selection of roof coatings today on Menards.com. Plus, check our weekly flyer for all of the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
The Fan has a secret radio station. It's called The Fan 2. You can listen to the Bob and Tom Show, Jim Rome, and Buckeye stuff. Why do they pay me big money to whisper? The Fan 2 is on the Fan's HD2 channel and streaming on the Fan app. You're welcome. The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yingling drafts for only $4. Rothman Ice presents Overs and Unders.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
All right, let me start. Zeke, how many drafts over under 2.5 does Andrew Berry have to string together to erase the memories of the past?
I would say under. I think if he goes 2 in a row, you're good.
Thank you, Max, for emailing me that. We were discussing Andrew Berry, and he sent me an email and trying to put it in Vikings perspective, like if the Vikes had been hapless for years, which hapless we've not been, but... And he said, if we suddenly had a good draft, would I think we were lucky or just suddenly he learned how to draft? I would say this. Yes, you are judged maybe as much by your misses as you are your hits because of the guys that you could have or would have had. Mm-hmm. So that's evidence that's always going to be there. We could go back to every draft and say every team like, oh, my goodness, I can't believe it. So it's not a science, but... I don't know. You and I maybe look at it. I don't know whether you and I look at it more objectively or less based on that it's not our beloved team.
Yeah.
And so either because we don't have the emotion that they have, so maybe we're both right. Maybe you and I look at him a little more objectively, but not as much deep into it that we should be.
I think you and I it's easier for us to be a little down the middle, more down the middle than where Zeke is and where Browns fans are, because obviously that emotional tie, it's hard to get over, but I'm not here to bail out Andrew Berry because the body of work is the body of work. I just think that when you're coming out of any draft, whether it was 3 years ago, last year, 5 years ago, and you can go back to that draft class and say, we picked up a player that's really good, let alone 2, 3, or maybe even 4 in a draft. I think that's tremendous work from Andrew Berry, and I think he did that last year. And so that's only last year, but maybe he's at a point to where he's figured out some new things and a new formula or whatever that may be. So I can understand the people that are hitting pause coming out of last night. We just got to wait and see. And honestly, I think until he gets the most important position figured out, then there really won't be a certain amount of love for him because that still is the elephant in the room until it's not for the Brownies.
All right, Zeke, what do you got?
All right, the first one here. Last night, Jeremiah Love went off the board at number 3. So I did a little digging. The last 5 running backs taken in the top 10 put up some pretty good numbers during the season. The likes of Ashton Genty, Leonard Fournette, Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, and Christian McCaffrey. They averaged out at about 946 yards on their rookie season. Will Jeremiah Love go over 946.5 or under?
All right.
Rushing yards?
Or all-purpose yards?
I'm talking rushing yards. Put him in between the tackles.
I'll go under. I still think he can put together a good all-purpose season, though. But I'm going to go under. I think he'll be
me too.
Really effective as a pass catcher for them this year. Like, I like what that can look like with Wilson and Trey McBride and Marv out there. But I'll take the under on the rushing yards specifically, but he'll close the gap and put together a good statistical year on paper, I think, with some of the stuff he can do as a pass-catching back, AR.
Where will he go in fantasy? That's going to be the question. Because he's in a PPR. It's huge.
I don't think I want any parts of it in year one.
I wouldn't either.
I think I'm good on it in year one, because if you took Genty last year high, which some people did, I don't think you loved what you got.
The Cardinals, I'll repeat, 31 of 32 in rushing yards per game. All right. Michael Carter was their leading rusher with 333 yards.
Yeah, that's tough. Wait.
Wait, what? 333?
He's their leading
Double
rusher?
check it.
Am
I wrong?
No,
Did James Conner get hurt during the season?
I want to look this up, because that would be crazy.
He did get injured. That's crazy. Am I wrong? Why does that number stick in my head?
It sounds crazy.
33.
Michael Carter, in 13 games played on 92 carries, 333 yards, 1 touchdown.
I don't even know
Tough.
if there's a team in history that has a lower rushing total of their, quote, leader.
It's got to be an all-time low.
Take me to your leader,
it's
Michael Carter.
It's got to be an all-time low. You know why else I'm taking the under 2 ARs? They signed Tyler Algier this offseason.
Yeah. He competed with Connor, right? James Conner.
He was in Atlanta for a few years, chipping away some of the Bijan touches. But, yeah, that's why part of the reason why I'll take the under as well is because I think Algier he's a pretty good back.
Going under based on the team they have around him.
All right, next one here. We'll switch gears a little bit. Love was also the first running back taken since 2018 in the top 5. That was Saquon Barkley. How many players since 2000 that have been running backs have been taken in the top 5? I'm going to give you your over-under 10.5. Running backs taken in the top 5 since 2000.
Top 5.
Top 5. We're talking they're taking first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. Since 2000, the over-under is 10.5. Running backs taken.
You said, okay. AR, man, over 10.5. I'm going to go under. I'm going under. That's just knee-jerk without looking at anything. I'm just shot in the dark here. Give me the under on 10.5.
I feel under.
And it's over. I will say between 2000 and 2008, there was a running back going in the top 5 over and over and over again. It's gone cold a little bit since 2018. You had Saquon, Leonard Fournette, Zeke, Trent Richardson.
Bijan wasn't.
Bijan was not. Saquon.
Yeah.
Saquon, Fournette, Zeke, Trent Richardson, Darren McFadden, Reggie Bush, good old Cadillac Williams, Cedric Benson in the same draft back-to-back. You also had Ronnie Brown in that draft. LT and Jamal Lewis. Wow. A bunch of top 5ers, but recently, nobody.
Okay.
Next one, let's move on to our boy Carnell Tate. I went ahead and took the last couple OSU wide receivers. They got drafted high, including Emeka Egbuka, JSN, Garrett Wilson, Marv, and Chris Olave. Averaged out their rookie seasons. That came to 919 yards as a rookie. Is Tate going over or under that this season?
He's a big play maker. I like Cam Ward's arm, and I think he, in year 2, is going to be able to slow down the defense and what he sees in the secondary, and I think that's going to help Carnell. I'm going over.
Give me your number again, Zeke.
919 yards.
Going over.
919. It's weird. I almost think like that would get you into the top, I don't know, top 50 all time of rookie receiving seasons. Maybe even higher than that.
Well, three of those Buckeyes did it. Egbuka did it, Garrett Wilson did it, and Olave did it. Marvin JSN fell short.
Maddie's right on the deep shots and the yards he can pick up that way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's a mental hedge for me. I'm going to go under.
All right, there we go.
Last one quickie here. Ty Simpson will be the starter in L.A. 1.5 seasons.
Under.
Under.
He'll start next year. I think Stafford's retiring after this.
Yeah, I don't think it's injury related. I just think it's time. Unless he's so unhappy about this that he wants to just keep the kid. I'm sorry. I don't like the pick, and neither did my coach. I'm playing another 5 years. This is like the retirement thing. I'm staying here for another 5 years. All right, we're going to come back top of the hour, and Rhett Lewis, NFL Network, will analyze last night and the night to come. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Spring is here, and there's no better place to make memories than the Columbus Zoo. See tigers up close, watch playful otters, and see the baby elephants in action. For a limited time, take advantage of our Zoo After 2 p.m. deal. Plan your adventure at columbuszoo.org.
Some choose the fast way, others choose the easy way, but you do things the right way. That's why professionals and homeowners trust Voss Brothers Power Equipment, your source for Exmark mowers. Engineered to deliver the world's finest zero-turn mowers with a legendary quality of cut, durability that lasts for generations, and an experience that feels like anything but work. Because if it's worth doing right. Visit Voss Brothers Power Equipment with locations in Powell, Sunbury, and Marysville, and find the Exmark mower built for you. Voss Brothers Power Equipment, delivering enjoyment in mowing since 1989.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, a new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Grilling season starts now at Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
The Reds will play baseball on every Sunday this year during the season, just as they've done for years. But there was a time when playing baseball on Sunday was banned. In the early years of the game, back in the 1800s, many local communities and Major League Baseball itself refused to allow games on Sunday in recognition of the Sabbath. But in 1892, baseball changed this rule and permitted teams to play on Sunday. And on this date, April 24th, 1892, the Reds played their first ever game on a Sunday here in Cincinnati. And how did the fans react? Well, if some stayed home, it didn't hurt the attendance any. The Reds drew a then record crowd of over 15,000 to that first Sunday game in Cincinnati, April 24th, 1892. This date in Reds baseball.
This date in Reds baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. At Germain Toyota of Columbus, it's all about you, your drive, your style, and your budget. Stop in and see Marcello. He'll get you rolling. Germain Toyota of Columbus on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or check them out online at germaintoyota.net.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results, and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Ohio State has 99 first-round draft picks all-time in the NFL draft after 4 Buckeyes were selected last night. A couple of more look to come off the board tonight. It's rounds 2 and 3 get underway at 7. We'll join live draft coverage here on The Fan at 8. After an off day yesterday, the Cincinnati Reds and the Cleveland Guardians starting new series this evening. Down in Cincinnati, the Reds are hosting the Detroit Tigers at 6:40. Hear it over on The Fan's HD3 at 6:10. Cleveland heads north of the border to face the Toronto Blue Jays at 7:07. Blue Jackets goaltender Jet Greaves will be one of 3 goalies on Team Canada for the upcoming World Championships in Switzerland, May 15th through the 31st. This one's sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union, voted best credit union for the past 8 years in a row by CBUS Top Picks. Visit BMIFCU.org to learn more. Breaking sports news as it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
No one funks up the work microwave like these two. Fish again? You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, back at it. And we welcome to the program from the NFL Network, Big Ten Network, Sirius XM. And he is a guy who we will fight for. He's never daunted. He cannot falter. He is our friend, Rhett Lewis. Rhett, welcome back.
Oh, what a great day. Thank you, fellas. Honestly, as much as I love, the draft starting in round 1 of the draft, I feel like today is, my favorite day because we have picks to talk about.
Yeah.
And now we have also, the promise of 70 picks coming up here tonight as well. So I feel like it's the best of both worlds.
This may be a tough one for you, but the Browns waited on receiver, and they drafted Casey Concepcion. Small, fast, had his case of drops, but all receivers do, but maybe he had more than most. Omar Cooper was there. They could have taken him. They could have taken Boston. What do you think about that pick for them at receiver, the Browns at 24?
Yeah, I definitely would have gone with Omar Cooper in that spot. I probably would have gone with Denzel Boston in that spot. However, I feel like Casey gives Cleveland something that you maybe don't really have. I know Malachi Corley is kind of supposed to be that type of player, hasn't really been as of yet. I feel like what you've got is a player who you can get the ball to relatively quickly and watch him go. And I think that is a valuable commodity to have, especially with an uncertain quarterback situation. And I think he is he's a home run dude. So there's some excitement there. There's some electricity with what he can bring to the offense. And I think ultimately that's probably why they make the pick over those other guys that I was talking about. But I still think I would have gone with Omar Cooper in that spot.
Rhett Lewis from the NFL Network joining us here. The NFL Network's coverage of the 2026 NFL Draft in Pittsburgh continues tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time with rounds 2 and 3. Rhett, let's go back up to the top of the board and get your take on what the Arizona Cardinals did at 3. There was a bunch of buzz about Jeremiah all offseason. We all figured that he would go in that top 10 range. But last night, when you found out it was Arizona for him, what are your thoughts on that pick?
I love it. I think it speaks to making this new era of the Cardinals work and supporting your head coach, Mike LaFleur, who is an offensive genius and has been around some of the best in football in terms of the offenses he's been in and worked with and schemed and game planned with Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco, and then with Sean McVay, which kind of gave a little bit of a different twist these last 3 years that he was there on the run game. And I think like the overriding consensus here is like Jeremiah Love can do it all. He can run between the tackles in that physical duo scheme if you want to run that. He can run that outside zone, the inside zone stuff too. If it's that one cut and get outside and get rolling, that we associate with the Shanahans and that sort of thing. I just think he is a home run weapon. He's a terrific receiver out of the backfield, and I think he's going to help a team that has quarterback uncertainty because he's going to give you some real options here. And I just think, look, yeah, they need to get the quarterback figured out, and I think they're going to get the offensive line figured out here with the second pick of the second round tonight, either Chase Basantis or Manuel Pregnon. But I really like what they did with Love.
Let me take you to the very top because I think, and I don't know if this is fair or unfair for Fernando Mendoza, but when you're the number one pick overall in the NFL draft and you play quarterback, you're going to be compared to the best. And only two players have ever won a Heisman, won a Natty, and went overall number one in the same season, and that's Burrow and Cam Newton, and we know the careers that they've had. What do you expect with Mendoza and the Raiders, and what type of franchise quarterback will he be?
I expect the pursuit of greatness because that's who Fernando Mendoza is, and that's who I have gotten to know as I've gotten to know him. That's what I have observed. He is just constantly in every facet of being a quarterback. He is trying to find an edge. He's trying to get advice. He's trying to get as many people around him that can help him become the very best. He is not a guy that is at all satisfied at any point with what he has done. And I think that will resonate, and probably did resonate very positively with one Tom Brady, who is certainly a part of this pick selection process with John Spytek, the GM, and Clint Kubiak, the head coach. And I think Tom will really appreciate the mind of Fernando Mendoza, which includes his ability to process and do all the things you want your quarterback to do, but in his preparation, in his work ethic, in the way that he prepares, it is unparalleled. And look, he's 6'5", 236 pounds, guys. Josh Allen is 6'5", 237 pounds. Like, this is a big dude that is ready to play in the NFL with a prototypical build, who can get out and be mobile with his legs as well. I think this is just a home run pick on every level.
How did you feel about what the Giants were able to do coming out of this thing with 2 first-rounders, 2 guys drafted in the top 10, and Maui Noah and Arvell Reese? I know Malik Neighbors had some interesting comments about Reese and the fit and not really seeing the vision at the moment. He said he liked the player but didn't really understand, I guess, the team need at the time. So looking at Reese, looking at Maui Noah for the Giants with Harbs taking over, how are you feeling about what they got cooking up?
You know, I don't know if I would have maybe verbalized it the way that Malik did, but I think I have similar, more curiosities, really. One, they just extended and paid their right tackle, Jermaine Illuminor, and then they drafted a right tackle in Francis Maui Noah, and I think that tells us they probably see Maui Noah more as a guard, with the ability to, maybe if he ends up being better than Illuminor down the road, he becomes your right tackle. I don't have a problem with that at all. I think that helps your offensive line. It helps Cam Scatteraboo and Jackson Dart, and ultimately Malik Neighbors. The defensive side is maybe a little bit more difficult to project. There has been plenty of speculation about the overall satisfaction with Kayvon Thibodeau as one of the 4 now edge rushers that they have, and that they have spent big time resources to get, along with Brian Burns, last year's top draft pick Abdul Carter, and now Arvell Reese, who has only played about 250 snaps in his life as an edge rusher. He's played another 250-plus snaps, though, as an off-the-ball linebacker. And I am wondering if, because of the now wealth of resources they have, if you're saying that Arvell is a full-time edge rusher, I'm wondering if they see him more as both. More as hey, maybe he can be an off-the-ball backer for us at times and really provide some value to us that way. And that's why it was this was the pick and not Caleb Downs and not Sonny Styles. And we feel like we can kind of get the best of both worlds here with Arvell Reese. So I'm curious, to put it in a word.
We are talking with Rhett Lewis, our guy from the NFL Network, analyzing last night and the night to come. I do want to ask you about Ty Simpson and your thoughts about him and whether or not you think the Rams did draft their quarterback of the future or whether this is going to turn out to be a very wasted pick for them.
Look, I think there's a lot of different ways you can go with this. Ultimately, what I'll say first is I absolutely love this for Ty Simpson. Like, this is a dream scenario for Ty Simpson. And I think in the Rams' dream, we don't even see him for 3 years. And you hope that Matthew Stafford kind of continues to play. I mean, God dang, the guy's the MVP. I'm sure you guys have seen this and looked this up as I have, but the last time a team had the MVP in the league as a quarterback and took a quarterback in the first round the very next year was 67 Green Bay Packers after Bart Starr had won the MVP. So, you know, that's kind of an interesting nugget to all that. But what else? Regardless of the press conference that has kind of gone viral now from Sean McVay, I can tell you with pretty high certainty and confidence, he loves Ty Simpson. Now, I don't know what the tenor was and, you know, why it came off that way. Maybe it was like, hey, I don't need to be overly excited about a quarterback. We've got the best quarterback in football right now in Matthew Stafford. Like, I'm happy we have Ty Simpson. I loved him on tape, and I hope he is our next starting quarterback. And I think the other way you look at it is, you know, they also got one of the best corners in football with their other first-round pick. So it's not like they just wasted a pick. They did get a first-round talent in Trent McDuffie, and trading that pick to the Kansas City Chiefs. And now, you know, they got Ty Simpson to learn under Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay.
Well done, my man. Appreciate your insight. It was awesome. Thanks for the visit. We'll talk soon, and enjoy tonight and the weekend. Thank you.
You got it, fellas. Take care.
Rhett Lewis, NFL Network on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. He's right. Teams have done it, not very often and not that high, where you have an MVP and then you're taking a quarterback in the next draft. We've seen it like the Patriots did it. When did they took, who am I thinking of? I know they've done it, or they have a couple of times. Was it Mac after? I'll look that up.
Yeah, check that out. It is really surprising, though, that the team that has thrown around first-round picks like it's nothing for years finally says, you know what, it's time to invest in our future. Let's put a little bit more in that savings account. And that's what they have going on. I don't view this as a two timelines thing. Like, it doesn't feel that way to me, because the team that they're going to roll out this year is going to be an elite football team still. You just have to wonder, and the question is always going to be, whether it was offense or defense, was there a guy that could be an added boost for this year's team? But the long-term view of this is, if Ty Simpson, you could hand the baton from Stafford to Simpson and he's able to run with it for a while, then this absolutely will become a no doubt worth it pick.
It was Ryan Mallett. So after 2011, when Brady was the MVP, they took Ryan Mallett, but they took him at 74.
Yeah, no.
And then they did it before that, and they actually took Kevin O'Connell, believe it or not.
Your boy.
Yeah, at 94 after Brady's first MVP.
But it wasn't.
I was looking at the Packers took Jordan Love at 26 overall, but that was 6 years after Rodgers won another MVP.
Yeah.
Not the next year.
Correct.
All right, we're coming back. Who's going in the pressure cooker? Find out. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Fall is a season of change, and Hinderer Motor Company is turning over a new leaf with big savings. This is Justin Hinderer. Right now, any one of our participating locations is paying up to $3,500 over Kelley Blue Book value. That's right. Drive in your current vehicle and leaf with one of ours today. Don't wait. The leaves are falling and so are the prices. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
Hey, it's Anthony. By now you know my good feet story, but the point I try to get across is that it's an ongoing one for me. For as long as I can remember, it's always been about my lower back. But when I got fitted for my personal arch supports, it's been an absolute game changer. I feel better. They take all the stress off my back. I feel supported and aligned, and you don't hear me complain about it the way I used to. I could feel the difference instantly, and I didn't have to wait to feel that difference. Once I got fitted, popped them in my shoes, took the test walk around the store, and now on a daily basis, everything feels better. And that's what I mean about an ongoing story. This journey to feeling more comfortable makes everything better. You can make an appointment online or just stop into the Good Feet store in Grove City or the one on Polaris Parkway in Westerville, and their experts will personally fit you. Then do what I did. Take a test walk around, and you will feel the difference. Do your feet a favor. Get started at goodfeet.com.
It's time to choose happiness again. With the weather being warmer, my kids want to go outside and play, but my knee pain used to ruin these moments with my kids. Until I got with Dr. Tesner and his medical team at QC Kinetics. They relieved my knee pain right there in the office that day. So if you say yes to any of these questions I'm about to ask, then you're the kind of patient that QC Kinetics regenerative treatment help every day. I have consistent joint pain in my knees, hips, and shoulders or back. Pain keeps me from getting a good night's sleep. I'm missing work or saying no to the activities that I enjoy. I don't want surgery or a long recovery. I am at the end of my rope, taking medication every day just to get through the day. Did you answer yes to any of these questions? Today could be your day to turn that corner and finally get relief. QC Kinetics are easy, done in the office here in Dublin and Gahanna. The consultation is free, so don't wait. It will be the most meaningful thing you do for yourself and the people who care about you. Call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
As the seasons change, it's time to prep your HVAC system with a $49 seasonal tune-up from Columbus Worthington Air. A seasonal tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and help prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. It all adds up to dependable service from neighbors you trust. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit cwaohio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
Sometimes, tough times are a test, a chance to prove ourselves. Colleen O'Donnell proved her grit in Laredo, Texas, when she served as an immigration judge and faced the worst of the worst. Human smugglers, gang members, dangerous people. Colleen ordered them to be deported, never granted asylum once, and enforced the law to the letter. Now, Ohio needs tough leadership on the bench, so Colleen O'Donnell's running for Ohio Supreme Court as a constitutional conservative with 10 years of prior judicial experience. Ohio Right to Life PAC endorses Colleen for her devotion to our conservative values. America's toughest immigration sheriff, Richard Jones, endorses Colleen O'Donnell for her dedication to public safety. And the Ohio leaders we trust support Colleen O'Donnell for her unwavering loyalty to the rule of law and the Ohio State Constitution. The grit to lead, the experience to succeed. Colleen O'Donnell for Ohio Supreme Court.
Paid for by O'Donnell for Ohio.
Common Man here for Germain Volkswagen. Right now, you get $3,000 over Kelly Blue Book on your trade during the Germain Trade and Upgrade Sales Event at both Germain Volkswagen of Columbus and Germain Volkswagen of Westerville. Plus, during Volkswagen Driver Days, interest rates can't get any lower on the 2026 Volkswagen Atlas and the 2026 Volkswagen Tiguan. Available to qualified customers on approved credit through Volkswagen Financial Services. See dealer for full details. Get started now at GermainVolkswagen.com.
Skip Mussick has been on the Fan for nearly 80 years, and during that time, he's worn many hats. Executive producer for Ohio State Athletics, talk show host, private detective when Ron Stokes loses his phone.
Somebody do something!
He's done it all. But his proudest accomplishment, host of Tee to Green. If it has anything to do with golf in Central Ohio, Skip's on it. Cheers to the next 80-year skipper. And listen to Tee to Green Saturday mornings at 9 here on The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A beautiful way to end the work week with daytime highs in the mid to low 80s, but it will be breezy with mostly sunny skies. Chances of showers and thunderstorms this evening with lows around 60. And then for Saturday, we do have a slight chance of showers, otherwise a mostly cloudy to partly cloudy day and cooler with highs in the low 70s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Under Pressure.
Sponsored by 3D Cabinetry. 3dcabinetry.net, where quality meets affordability.
All right, a little pressure time for you. I made a bet tonight. Got to try to win something. I won something last night. Not anything big. I bet that Mekhi Lemon will be the third receiver taken. Just felt right to me after Tate and Tyson. I thought with Tyson's workout, and then I thought, no, I guess Boston could have gone ahead of Lemon, but we'll get to that. But
are you going to share with us what the bet is for tonight? Oh, it's part of your
the thing. It's part of the pressure. I'm putting the pressure on the Green Bay Packers to draft a cornerback. That's what I'm doing. I think they have to
help
do it.
Help a brother out. Huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
Zeke, where are they picking?
52.
Oh man.
All right.
Specifically a corner.
And so I need our boy Goody. I think they've got a high upside corner. There was a boost. I think it's like 2-1 now that I got. So we know what they did with the trade about the, getting Micah and all that. And not since, you got to go back almost 10 years since the Packers did not have a first round pick. And so he has no regrets with the trade. And because it kept him on the bench last night, the Packers. They had to watch along with all of us. And so they got their ducks in a row now. And you say they're drafting 52. All right, so let's take a look. I'm going to put the pressure on them to take a corner. And I'm telling you, it'll be right up Maddie's alley. There'll be no milking of the clock. We're going to get that card right up there.
Let's go.
And we're going to take a high upside player. And the reality is, in this draft has depth at the Packers' biggest area of needs. Now, even with 4 cornerbacks already off the board, probably.
Okay.
I think that the Packers are going to get a potential rookie starter at their biggest positional need. I'm putting pressure on them to find the player to fit the need. That is a cornerback at plus 200. Packers, let's start the weekend off right.
Okay, I'll be rooting for you.
Thanks, buddy.
I will be rooting for you. First candidate for me. I'm going with the king of the burner account. You may know him as Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, AR. I mean, they may get swept. They may get swept. Game 3 tonight at home. LeBron and the Lakers coming to town with a 2-0 lead.
Can't happen, right?
KD has the better team. He's got Şengün. He's got Jabari Smith. He's got Amen Thompson. Lakers don't have Luka and Austin Reeves right now. Now, Austin Reeves is questionable. So he may make his return tonight, which
why would he?
Because they want to get them out of here. Let's go BTA,
playoffs?
sweep these boys and get them out of here. But Kevin Durant, AR, in game 2, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, but 9 turnovers in the game. Just a nasty performance from one of the all-time greats. And they struggle so much on the offensive end that he can't afford to have those type of mistakes because they're just so hard to get buckets right now for the Houston Rockets. So KD needs to have one of his all-timers tonight. We know he's capable of it, one of the best bucket getters the association has ever seen. But this is the do-or-die game for him. This is a must-win, AR, for the Houston Rockets tonight at home. Game 3 with LeBron and the Lakers coming to town. KD's on the pressure list this evening.
So with all that being said, would you lay the 8.5 with Houston?
No.
You take the 8.5.
Yeah, I just don't think their offense has the ability to run away from the Lakers. They haven't shown that, especially if Austin Reeves is coming back. You know what I mean? So
I saw that line, and I was like, okay, maybe they think the Lakers are going to, be up, take their foot off the gas, and
desperation.
Desperation.
That too, season on the line. We saw it from a couple teams, but your boy Luke Kennard.
Yes.
Sniping.
Unbelievable.
Right sniping.
Ride that wave.
Yep.
All right, I'll take a page out of your book and go with desperation. It's the Pittsburgh Penguins, who I do believe exceeded expectations this year, big time. A lot of people predicted aging core on their last legs. Do they have the right coach to turn things around? They did answer the call with Sid and Rust and Malkin and Carlson. A lot of these guys have turned back the clock, but the clock needs wound one last time. They're down 3-0 to Philly. Like the pressure is now. You have to avoid getting dusted off. 4 goals in 3 games, not going to do it. 2 for 10 on the power play, not going to do it. So I'm going to put it on the Penguins on the road. The pressure to avoid getting swept right out of there. They're feeling it tonight.
That's a good one. I'm going with a guy that was probably sitting back last night watching his team wait around for a while because they didn't pick for a long time. And it's a member of the New England Patriots. I think there's some pressure now on Will Campbell. I think they kind of put him on notice last night, AR, when they drafted another tackle in Caleb Lomu out of Utah. Now, he's going to play over at right tackle, but they were talking last night how he's got the ability to play left. And I think after what happened to Will Campbell down the stretch run, specifically in the playoffs, where he gave up a ton of pressures in the Super Bowl, he gave up 29 pressures during the postseason run for the New England Patriots this year. They can't wait around on him. They have their franchise quarterback. They know that in Drake May. They're going to get A.J. Brown in time as well. But I think that draft pick was the Patriots letting us know that if we need to move off Will Campbell in the next year or two, this guy who we're drafting in the first round could be that replacement. So I'm going Will Campbell. I think he is now even under more pressure after their first-round pick.
That's a really good thought because my thought was, well, they'll just play them opposite of each other. This is their plan. Have these athletic tackles, just add another one, play them opposite each other, not to replace the other guy.
I think that's the plan for now. But I also think, AR, you and I are running the show, and the back of our minds is, if it doesn't work out with Will, we got a guy that can go over there and hold it down. So I think he's under a tremendous amount of pressure now.
All right, I'll go to the golf course, and they're the high riser. I didn't expect this. This is the Zurich Classic of New Orleans. So this is like team golf, where they pair up and they choose their teammates, and it's best ball, and then alternate shot, and there are a lot of contenders this week. And I was going to say, like Matt Fitzpatrick, who is number 3 in the world and just beat Scotty Scheffler in a playoff at Hilton Head, and he's got 3 worldwide wins since November, and he paired with his Zayo little brother. Good-looking kid. And he is. He's not bad. But he plays on the DP World Tour. He's 141. His brother is 3. And I thought, all right, well, your brother's been lighting the world on fire. You're going to have to feel pressure now to live up to maybe more than what you are. And then I see that they're currently in first place.
Hey.
Matt Fitzpatrick and Alex Fitzpatrick are minus 15. They shot a 64, then 65. And so now the pressure is for the little bro to keep swinging. And I also was going to put Koepka on that list because he's playing with Shane Lowry. And Lowry teamed with McIlroy. And what did they do 2 years ago? They won it. So Koepka would feel some pressure. But I'm going to keep it on Alex Fitzpatrick.
Here for it.
Is that your little brother? Mm-hmm. Good-looking kid. We come back in 2 minutes. And a team in the draft last night traded up for a player who was on the phone at the time with a team that was telling him, we're taking you. And then they got sniped. It's an unbelievable story. We'll tell you about it next. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
Family owned and operated. It isn't all sunshine and rainbows. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Here's something you don't hear admitted very often. When you run a business with your family, you don't always get along with them. We argue, we debate, we have real conversations about the decisions that we make. But at Care, every conversation comes back to our priorities, doing right by our employees and our customers. Because when you treat your team like family, they take better care of the families they serve. And when you treat your customers the way you'd want your own family treated, trust follows. That mindset doesn't always maximize short-term profits, but it builds something better, long-term relationships. Today, more and more local companies are being bought by venture capital firms, where maximizing profits often leads to a sales-first mentality. Care is still family-owned and locally operated, so we can keep people, not profits, at the center of every decision. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
There's nothing like ripping off your pants and enjoying some lobster bisque. This is Rothman and Ice.
This was a great moment of the draft. There were a lot of fun moments in the draft last night. And this was one of them, if not the one. So we'll have the sound, we'll play it. It might be a little difficult for you guys to hear this, but we're going to play it, and you'll be able to hear some of it.
Just crank up the volume a couple extra notches, folks, because it is wild.
What am I thinking? What song am I thinking of? What is that? Crank up the volume. Turn up the volume. What is that song? It's in my head now. Turn up the volume. What is that?
Now you just have to find out.
All right, I'll do that later.
No, I want to know too.
I can't pull it. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get back to this. Then we'll find that song. So at pick 20, the Dallas Cowboys were on the clock. That was the Micah pick. Mm-hmm. They got that from Green Bay.
Okay.
So they're picking 20. The team that's picking 21 are the Pittsburgh Steelers. So follow me here. It's 19 Carolina, 20 Dallas at this point, and then Pittsburgh.
Okay. Before we advance the story, I could not wait to ask you this question. How do you feel about division rivals swapping first-round picks and doing business together?
Division rivals?
Dallas and Philly doing business together. How do you feel about
Seems
that?
odd.
Very much so.
Because whoever you take is going to be playing against me twice.
Correct.
I have to weigh what it means for my team too to get out of that pick.
That blew me away as well. Is that those two GMs, Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, Howie Roseman, whoever it was, especially from the Dallas side, who knows? But they got together and did business in the first round. That I don't get. That is a thing that would frustrate me if I were a Dallas fan, especially when you look at the player that they got. But that's not the biggest part of this story. It's what's going to happen here in the next few minutes, which you guys are going to hear, which is crazy. But that AR was a head scratcher, especially with where those two teams are right now.
Yeah. So Mekhi Lemon is the receiver from USC. He was on the phone, which you'll hear in a second, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, usually you don't get on the phone to tell a guy we're taking you until you're on the clock. Like, it's just, why would you? Now, they might think, hey, Dallas is picking at 20. They're not going to take you. But why even? I mean, it can happen. Like, this was such a premature celebration on this pick. So I don't know if this is edited, but Mekhi Lemon is on the phone with Pittsburgh. That's what you'll hear first. And then out of nowhere, either he hung up with them or a call came in.
I believe his agent will come in and tell him that.
But he's already saying, why is Philly calling
me? And then his agent, you'll hear his agent hop in to let him know that the Eagles are drafting.
Let's hear it.
Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, why is Philly coming? Yeah. Oh, Philly just traded for you. Hello? This is Philly. They just traded for you. Philly's taking you right now.
I mean, first of all, I don't know what I'm more shocked about, that he was that excited to go to Pittsburgh, or that Philly actually pulled this off. The Steelers were so excited to get him. They called him early. We're taking you at 21.
And Howie Roseman said, hold up, player.
Howie
Not so
Roseman,
fast, my friend.
Right. So he knows former Eagles executive and current Steelers assistant GM. Is that Andy Weidel or Weidel?
Sure. Yeah, I don't know.
And he must have known that he was looking to grab a receiver in this year's class. And the fact that Mekhi Lemon was still available at 20 was more than the Eagles could have hoped for. And then found a way to do business, as you say, with Dallas. And you sniped him from an in-state, not in the same conference. It doesn't hurt as much.
That stings a little bit, too.
Well, it stings that it's your state neighbor, but it's not in your division. That would be a lot worse if the Ravens or the Bengals or the Browns did this. And this isn't the first time Howie and company have fleeced other teams. He's done this before. But I think I'm going to put more of the onus on the Steelers, who were on the phone with him when Philly traded up to get him.
Let me ask you this, AR. Is the Omar Khan phone call, because that was the voice that you heard talking to Mekhi Lemon off bat there?
Shaka?
Maybe it was Shaka. Wait, Shaka Khan.
Let me rock you.
Oh, I'm scared to ask the question, but I think I know the answer.
Oh, really?
I think we're good there. Or
No,
I think we're not good. Are we good there?
I think we're
good.
You mean when you ask the question, what is she up to?
What is she up to? Scared to ask. We're good, right?
We're good.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're good. But the Omar Khan phone call, is that the GM version of the Tyreek Stevenson celebration before the Hail Mary happened with the Bears? Remember, he's celebrating premature. Is that the GM version of that? Taking your victory lap with the guy on the phone, only for another GM to come in and take the player from you.
The whole war room's just high-fiving. We got him.
At least Stevenson had a chance to rescue it. Like, there's nothing the Steelers could have done. Now, here's what I would say also. If the Steelers, yes, I can double fault the Steelers here. Because if they really loved him that much, they would have called Dallas. We're not taking a chance, right?
Yes.
Do I have that right?
I believe you do.
I mean,
wait.
Why does Philly wound up taking him?
They did. At
Dallas
20.
traded with Philly.
Yes.
Dallas has the pick. If Pittsburgh wanted him, just said, hey, this is the guy we got to have, we can't take a chance.
Do you
get on the phone with Jerry and Steven and the rest of the crew down there in the Star?
So do you think that they were just in the Steeler war room, that they didn't know, they weren't watching the TVs or whatever and saw that Philly leaped them?
No, I don't. Well, no, they knew that when it happened. What I'm saying is they thought Dallas was picking at 20, and they probably had no fear that Dallas was going to take him.
Right, because that was kind of a conversation.
It was.
And that's with the pick and
that's
stuff
why I say
that maybe
I'm double
Dallas
faulting
takes
them.
a receiver.
One, for either believing that Dallas wouldn't take him.
Right.
The other big one is that Dallas wouldn't trade the pick and you'd get sniped, which they did. But if they really, really felt like we got to have him, we can't take a chance, let us trade with Dallas, not Philly.
Move up a little bit to get him, yeah.
No, and then Dallas could have leveraged Pittsburgh against Philly. And maybe have gotten even more.
Maybe so.
Steven could have been on the phone saying, hey, I got the Eagles on the phone.
I will say
and
this.
they want him. And then that would have really played it up. But Pittsburgh never made the call. The only call they made was to the player who was about to get picked ahead of them.
Why is Philly calling me? Because they're drafting you, man. They're drafting you. I'll say this. As a guy that has a team inside the AFC North, I'm so happy that the Steelers didn't get Mekhi Lemon, because that's what they do. They find wide receivers and draft and develop them as arguably the best franchise to ever do it. And so the fact that he's not in that division for me to have to deal with as a Ravens fan, I'm so happy about that, because I think he is going to be a guy. And you could have paired him with DK Metcalf and Freiermuth and been on your way. And also that probably makes the job more attractive for Aaron Rodgers to come on back to. I still think he is coming back, and he may be good with what they got. They got a tackle, and we'll see if he turned out to be a guy for them. But, man, Howie Roseman, that's one of the all-time moments in the draft for me because I don't think I've seen anything even close to that where a player is on the team, on the phone with the team that he thinks he's going to, and he's actually not going there. And the other GM is on the other line. Insane stuff.
Yeah, that's bad. I don't think I've ever seen or heard a team calling a player before they were on the clock as far as saying, we're taking you. Maybe this happens a lot. I'll tell you where it happens. It's, hey, we like you. If you're there, we're taking you. I don't even know what that accomplishes, honestly. Like, they could have moved up one spot and made sure they got him. They could have called Dallas and not Philly. So we want to move up, and Dallas would have said, all right, who you taking?
Yeah.
We're taking this guy. Good. We didn't want him anyway.
And here's the other thing, too. If I'm a Dallas fan, if things don't work out with George Pickens and he goes elsewhere, maybe he gets traded today for a second-round pick or he just walks at the end of the year after just playing on the franchise tag, and they don't find a replacement as good as Mekhi Lemon or better, and you as a Cowboys fan have to deal with that guy for years to come, that is tough to deal with as well. So it's not only the doing business part, it's the what you have to face and what we may lose and not have a replacement for that guy in George Pickens.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm with you. The fact that they had the dude on the phone when another team traded up to get him is classic.
I'm glad you're here today, Zeke, but I wish Cole was here to give us his take on that because I'm sure he was probably losing his mind.
By the way, while we were doing all that, I was giving my take on that. It is an 80s song. It's the pump up the volume.
Okay, I knew it would come to you eventually.
Yeah, and then Baker just texted me. It looks like he's on it too. But
shout out to that show, man.
You guys know the song I'm talking about? Like Maddie said, turn up the volume, or did you say pump up the volume?
No, it was pump up the jam.
Oh, did you say pump up the jam?
No, I think he's saying that's what the lyrics are. Is that what you're saying?
No, there's
one that's like, I want a place to stay. Yes.
Okay.
Get the groovy on. Yep, that's the one.
But it's pump up the volume, not pump up the jam. Maybe there's a different one.
Hey, that's a good beat, too.
Are we talking about the same song?
I think you guys are.
Let me find the darn song.
Maybe you're right. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Turn that up.
But isn't it pump up the volume, not pump up the jam?
It's pump up the jam.
Is this who sings this?
This is Technotronic.
Different song. It said you and I are talking about two different songs.
Oh.
I know this, but there's a pump up the volume from the 80s that you need to find.
Okay.
We'll do a Buckeye Bulletin next, and you'll hear from the Buckeyes who were drafted last night. That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, the new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Did your HVAC struggle through this rough winter? When it comes to your home comfort, trust the local experts at Columbus Worthington Air. Right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new HVAC system with our trade-in allowance program. At CWA, we treat your home like it's our own with safe, reliable service backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit cwaohio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
This spring, take a break from interest with 0% financing for up to 60 months on new 2026 Tucsons. 0%. Go now, Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit ends 4/30.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Every year, tens of thousands in Central Ohio choose Columbus State Community College to start what's next. They're earning degrees that open doors to in-demand jobs, stable careers, and real earning power. They're bridging the gap to an affordable university bachelor's degree, avoiding the trap of student loan debt, and moving their lives and our community forward. Columbus State is making Central Ohio stronger. Apply today at cscc.edu.
Hop into savings this spring with Ohio Mulch. Right now, save $100 on home delivery orders, but only for a limited time at ohiomulch.com. What sets Ohio Mulch apart? Our premium pine bark mulch made from high-quality southern pine from South Georgia. It lasts longer and creates the perfect pH for acidic-loving plants like hydrangeas and azaleas. Better mulch, better results. Shop now at ohiomulch.com.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
Have you ever met a man who wins money betting on tennis? Enter Scotty Vegas. Join Scotty and Dave Biddle for On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Sunday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Save up to 50% on new windows from windownation.com.
All right, we'll take you back to Pittsburgh, by the way, at 2 o'clock with our friend Ian Fitzsimmons. So the stunner isn't that Carnell Tate was taken 4 by Tennessee. The half stunner is that he was the first Buckeye taken, honestly. Because we had Arvell Reese. I mean, there were times where Arvell Reese was number 2 and it was a lock. And then it was, all right, he's 3 at worst. And then here we go and we watch the draft unfold and it's Jeremiah Love, a running back, going 3 and then Tate going 4. And listen, it's hard not to like this pick because he is a wide receiver 1 and he's going to help Cam Ward and they needed him and they needed to help and all that. And so now he can go out and prove that he's worth where he was picked. Really polished. We've watched him. There weren't too many high pointers that he didn't come down with. He was cooking DBs, and he's plenty of fast and enough, and he can separate and all that. And he's got the height. And now, I believe that there was probably a bigger value on the board as far as like the big board. But as far as need and player, this seems right. He caught up with both. Is this with Adam King and Nicole Sheeran of 10 TV?
So Carnell was with Adam King.
Okay.
And the first one we've got here is the moment that he got drafted. What was going through your mind?
Yeah, the emotions were definitely there. It meant everything to me. Also, my family being there, be there for me and just show their love and support like they've always done.
Then Adam went on to ask him about his last month and what the process has been like preparing.
This last month's been a little bit of hectic, but it's also been calm. This past month, I've just been able to focus on football.
quick and to the point.
Yeah, man. Not.
I think
go ahead.
I guess I'd be curious if he was surprised that Tennessee took him.
Yeah, like how much communication back and forth did you have with Tennessee throughout the draft process? Because sometimes I think these guys can get a feel of, hey, this team's maybe a little bit more interested than this team, and they just check in the box of having me in for a top 30 visit or whatever that may look like. He may get asked that at his press conference, so I'll be looking out for that for sure. But it's a premier position right now in the sport, right? Outside of the quarterback, it's the guys blocking for the quarterback, the guys hunting the quarterback, the guys catching the rock from the quarterback. Those are the guys that are getting paid a bunch of money right now. And so for Tennessee, you want to build this core, a young core, around your quarterback and have him grow with those guys. And clearly Carnell Tate's going to be one of those guys for Cam Ward to work with. And so I don't mind it at all. Like, I actually think this is a good spot for him because I think he can walk in and be the guy in time. Maybe it's going to be right out of the gate, but there's not really another receiver that he's going to be competing with right now, it looks like, to be the number one target for Cam Ward. And so you can't help but be happy for Carnell going into a place where he's going to have a whole bunch of opportunity. And this isn't going to be a logjam situation at wide receiver. And he's going to have a chance to showcase right away that getting away from Jeremiah Smith, I can prove who I am and the player that I believe I can be and probably knows he can be on his own.
Yeah, now he gets to shine outside of that shadow, and he already did it in his shadow a little bit here at Ohio State.
No doubt.
All right, so then the time where the Giants are like, okay, this is perfect. As much as the Browns, the decision was taken out of their hands at 6 because Tate was gone, the Giants are like, we didn't think we'd have these decisions to make. I guarantee it. They didn't think that Arvell and Sonny would both be there.
And Caleb.
And Caleb.
I thought they made snipe him at 10.
But I think when Arvell, and now, by the way, that's another great question to ask at the presser, because did you pivot when Arvell was there at 5?
They had to.
And I thought it was, Maddie, I was thinking about you a lot last night. Not when I was having that dream about Orlavsky. You weren't in that one. But I was thinking about you a lot last night because you brought this to the table yesterday, that what if? And I'm like, it seems a little far-fetched. Like, what if he's there at 6? What if Arvell is there at 6? And it got so close because if they take Sonny, then the Browns are there at 6. And that's another great question to ask, like the ifs about pivoting, because what if the Giants would have taken Sonny at 5 and not Arvell?
They still trade out, right? The Browns?
That's what I said to you yesterday. Probably.
Yeah.
They would have been, because they would have been disciplined enough. Actually, it would have been even better because they might have even gotten more value.
Because they got
if Arvell was there.
They got the 3 and the 5 from Kansas City for them to come from 9 to 6.
I'm just saying it might have brought other teams into the mix.
Probably, yeah.
Because
probably.
wait a minute, Arvell's there at 6?
Yeah.
And they may have been even more open for business. So, yeah, they probably would have just increased their asking price. Because we'll just take Arvell then, and somebody else would come up. But anyway, Arvell goes to the Giants at 5, and they were probably feeling very fortunate at that time. And he's got tremendous upside, as we've all known. But the key here is just stacking dudes that can get after the quarterback. It is going to be ferocious if this all works out for them. And Arvell spoke with them as well.
Yeah, Arvell caught up with Nicole, and she got to ask him about if he's excited playing for a Harbaugh.
I'm very excited for it. And not only did I talk to him there, on my 30th visit, we had a long talk, like a long, real good talk. So I'm very excited to play for him. He's a legend. Coach, he's been around for so long. I'm ready to get to work with him.
He's like the mini Micah, right? That feels like that's who he's modeled after.
Yeah, it'd be amazing if you could get that out of him in a little bit, AR, as far as Abdul Carter, too. And you look at where he was coming out of Penn State and how he moved around that defense where he was still playing in the Big Ten. So it's a good situation for Arvell to walk into, especially when you think about the pass rushers he can learn from. Right, when you look at Brian Burns and he can, pick Abdul Carter's brain of what it takes to play at this level, even though Abdul's probably still figuring things out himself. And if it doesn't work out right out of the gate when it comes to the pass rushing stuff, he's shown the ability, he can play off-ball linebacker too and run around sideline to sideline and do some good things for them. And so, Harbaugh on the clock. There was always the vibe for us of he really probably wants one of those Buckeyes on defense. Sonny, Caleb, or Arvell. He gets Arvell, and Arvell may have the highest ceiling of all the defenders in this draft, right? Like, when he does figure it out you may be talking about a Micah Parsons type player. And if you get 80% of what Micah Parsons is right now, then that's a heck of a pick at 5.
Yeah. Who you got next?
We got a couple here from Sonny. The first one we have is how Ohio State prepared him for the NFL draft.
I think Ohio State for college football, that's the biggest of the biggest stage you can be on, the highest level of college football. Coach Day prepares us to be pros. Coach Mick showed us what it looks like to work hard. So we were developed and we're ready for this moment.
Yeah, it's as a guy who can get after it off the ball linebacker, for him to go to Washington and then say, hey, I saw Dan, I was with Dan Quinn. I'm like, I hope I'm back. And then it works out is very cool.
Yeah, no doubt, man. His progression and growth as a player has been awesome, right? Because you just never know when a guy makes a position change what the other side's going to look like. Figured that thing out with Cody Simon, took over last year as one of the leaders of the defense. Now here he is as a top 10 pick, and hunt down Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott for some years to come. So I'm happy for this spot as well.
That's today's Buckeye Bulletin. It's a great quote tweet from our guy J. Lou, who will be on at 2:30. It's a tweet from somebody in his little odds world or whatever he does. His players hugging Goodell when they get drafted always strikes me as weird. When I got my first job out of college, I never thought to hug my boss or anyone in management when I got the gig. And J. Lou responds and said, people who don't understand what it takes to reach the highest level, anytime you need help, let us know, Todd.
J. Lou out here bodying folks today. Coming off the top rope, J. Lou, okay.
Yeah, and watching last night, I actually think it's cool because all the fans hate Goodell, and all he gets is booze, and all the players look at him like he's their long-lost father. Yeah. I think it's a great moment.
I'm not mad at it, man. It's a cool moment for everybody involved. These dudes are living out their dreams. Get some love from the commish.
If I'm him, I'm actually go easy a little bit. The L4, L5 just got
Especially
compressed.
some of those linemen you
actually
got coming
might feel
through,
better.
Too.
Maybe it cracks his back.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah. Just let him hang there for a while. All right, we're going to come back with our friend Ian Fitzsimmons from Pittsburgh, and we'll get his answer to the question about Ty Simpson and the rest. Next, Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on the Buckeye Show. New special guests in everything scarlet and gray. The Fan.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. April's the perfect time to reset your home for the long run, and Universal Windows Direct makes that decision easy. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, and there's no limit. The more you upgrade, the more you save. Plus 24 months with no payments and no interest. And if you need some more, how about a $500 bonus off your home improvement project? Schedule your free estimate today. Call 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member. They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
There's nothing more meaningful you could do for yourself, your family, and friends than finally getting rid of that pain so they can enjoy time with you again, especially heading into the vacation season. Here, let me help you. Dr. Tessner and his team at QC Kinetics take care of your pain in the office, and you can go right on with your day that easy. So if you say yes to any of these questions, you are the kind of patient QC Kinetics regenerative treatments help every day. I have consistent joint pain in my knees, hips, shoulders, or back. Pain keeps me from getting a good night's sleep. I'm missing work or saying no to activities that I enjoy. I don't want surgery and a long recovery. I am at the end of my rope, taking medication every day just to get through. Did you answer yes to more than one of those questions? Today could be your day to turn that corner and finally get relief. QC Kinetics are easy, done in the office here in Dublin and Gahanna. The consultation is free, so don't wait. It'll be the most meaningful thing you do for yourself and the people who care about you. Call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Breaking news for your home. Way-Day. Wayfair's big sale is almost here, and you can score the best deals in home. Like up to 80% off everything home. Yes, you heard that right. 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Way-Day long. We're talking outdoor furniture and essentials, rugs, and more. All at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Way-Day. Shop Wayfair's Way-Day from April 25th through 27th. Wayfair, every style, every home.
Common Man here for GoGermain.com. I have been telling you about my friends at Germain for a long time, and it's because they bring the goods. And right now, you get $3,000 over Kelley Blue Book on your trade during the Germain Trade and Upgrade Sales Event. Yes, cue the trumpets. Nearly 4,000 new and pre-owned vehicles, plus an extra $3,000 on your trade means your budget goes further. And with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Get started now at GoGermain.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
It always seems to happen at the worst time. You're finally in bed after a long, hard day, and then you hear it. You sit up, heart sinking. Is that coming from the ceiling? All of a sudden, it's a middle of the night flashlight hunt to find the leak. But don't worry, Newman Roofing has you covered, literally. With more than 3 decades in the business, we've seen just about everything a storm can throw at a roof. Our teams know how to spot the problem, explain your options, and fix it right the first time, with craftsmanship and care you can feel good about. We're not just here for a quick patch job, and we never will be. We're here to make sure your home stays protected season after season. So when it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, choose the company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL Draft get underway over in Pittsburgh at 7 this evening. 4 Buckeyes went in the first round last night. A couple of more looking to come off the board tonight. We'll join live coverage here on The Fan at 8. Getting underway right now over on The Fan 2, the Ohio State men's baseball team with a doubleheader at Rutgers. Tyler Danberg and Bob Spears on the call. Down in Cincinnati, the Reds start in a series with the Detroit Tigers at 6:40. Andrew Abbott gets the start opposite Framber Valdez. You can hear that on The Fan's HD3 at 6:10. The Cleveland Guardians head to Toronto to face the Blue Jays at 7:07. Gavin Williams battles Max Scherzer. Blue Jackets goaltender Jet Greaves will be one of 3 goalies on Team Canada for the upcoming World Championships. The CBJ also announced today that assistant coaches Mike Havlin and Scott Ford will not return. This one's sponsored by Eco Plumbers. Get $500 in free repairs when you buy a new water heater at geteco.com.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, back at it. Final hour of the program. Here's the menu. So we are going to push Ian Fitzsimmons from Pittsburgh about 15 minutes. Because he's probably knee-deep in a Primanti Bros sandwich, which, by the way, they served up on the set, apparently, of the ABC crew.
Okay.
With Reese and Little Nicky and Kirk.
Yeah, was Desmond up there last night?
Desmond, probably. And they brought up these, like, massive sandwiches. Just crazy.
Yeah.
And I guess there was like, and Herb Street just said either not for me or whatever. Like, I don't think he ate it, which, that's fine. But Reese was like
going crazy.
Headlong into that. Like it was.
I've had one of those before. I went to Pittsburgh years ago, and it's okay. Like I love French fries, but that being
Not
on
a sandwich,
they even put it on salads out there too in Pennsylvania as well. And so it's like when you go somewhere, you're on vacation. It's like, okay, we're here in their city. Let's do their thing.
I think they call that when in Rome.
When in Rome, exactly. When in Pittsburgh, you go to Primanti Bro. So I've had it before. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great either. It was cool. Okay. It was all right. Yeah. You ever had one of those out there?
Yeah, and I like it. It's fine. But as I've always said, sometimes it just depends on what part of the country you're standing in as to just how dumb you are or weird you are. Because people here dip fries into Frosties, and I think people in other parts of the country might think, what? Why are you dipping your French fries in a Frosty?
Promoting it now. Like Wendy's, it's like a part of their whole deal now.
It's the salt and sweet, right?
It's always an elite combo. Yeah. Always an elite. Yeah. I never was the kid either that would go to McDonald's and get like a cheeseburger and put my fries on the burger. Like a couple of my friends used to do that.
That's all he did.
I still do that.
You still do that?
Does.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And a lot of times, the weird part for me is, because my brother did that all the time. It kind of bugged me too. It was like it was just enough. Just eat it normal. But the big thing was that it was more chips on a sandwich.
Okay.
You wanted the crunch, not the fries. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Did you ever put
potato chips on a sandwich?
I didn't. I never really saw the vision
you
for
put
that.
like potato chips on a
PB&J.
PB&J. I mean,
Wait,
you could even put like
PB&J?
Ruffles on a bologna sandwich if you wanted to.
Let me ask you guys this: what flavor chips are you putting on a PB&J?
It doesn't really matter because
it has to matter. I think.
It has to matter. Hang on.
I don't think
it's just that simple.
It has to matter.
I don't think you can chef up salt and vinegar chips inside the PB&J. Can you?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, I don't know about
the
that.
PB&J is gonna win that fight anyway. That's 70-30. The chips are never going to take over. It's the crunch you're looking for.
It's not about the flavor. I'll even throw some of the kettle cooked. Oh, those are the perfect ones to put on there.
In
extra
a PB&J.
Crunch. Absolutely. Get that extra crunch on top.
Maddie, that was big as a kid.
The ham sandwich, the turkey sandwich, that for sure I've heard that. This is the first time I've heard
I even put Cheetos on a sandwich.
I've seen that before. But you guys are throwing me for a loop with the
Cheetos. I'm not Cheetos. Cheetos not for me. Maybe I had it as a child. But not now.
Savor the flavor. I did it. And I should not be a hypocrite and call my brother like enough with the fries, because if I was doing the potato chips, but I always thought it was about the crunch.
Okay.
Not about.
But you are the crunch king.
Yeah, everything's got to be well done and crispy and all that.
Let me know in the chat, folks, about this PB&J with chips on it type thing, and what chips you guys think work well in there, because there has to be
matter.
I think it has to. You can't have salt and vinegar chips in a PB&J.
But you age out of this though.
100%.
Like my point is that when you're maybe not.
I think I would go for one today. I mean, when I typically make a PB&J,
you still put chips on a sandwich,
but now I just do crunchy peanut butter instead.
Yeah, I do like that.
Okay.
So I've kind of aged out, I guess, of the chips, but I just do the crunchy peanut butter. It's easier. You just spread it.
Okay.
You don't got to put the chips on.
All right. Yeah, but no, the fries and all that on the sandwich, that's fine. I don't think it, because you already have bread. Like you're already eating the sandwich with like either big French bread or something. Like I'm putting fries in there. Maybe just for a little bit of taste, a different taste. I don't know.
Yeah, somebody got to explain it to me, because I've never felt the need to do. I kind of like the separate parties going on. You know what I'm saying? Got my burger, my fries.
Well, you're a guy that doesn't like anything spilling into anything else.
No.
Everything's got to be separated. You're like that guy who has that little, it's like, the trays that have the separate compartments.
I love those.
Yeah.
Because I used to watching my dad eat growing up. AR, it was just like.
That's what all dads do.
Man, his peas would be in the applesauce and the mashed potatoes. And I'm just like, you're built different, man. Because I can't have anything touch. Then I don't want it.
It's ruined now.
It is.
If it touches, it's ruined.
It's that OCD. Just it's all ruined now.
It is right. That is accurate. That is accurate.
All right, so we'll have Ian on it.
Yeah, here in a few minutes.
That. By the way, I heard the draft's free. Right, so you can go there for free. It's like 300,000 people. But they were selling Bud Lights for $20.
How they get you?
I mean, I know you're at an amusement park. You're a captive audience. and you didn't pay to get in, so you're more likely to spend that. And maybe if you have, and this is another thing I hadn't thought of, the beers are $20, you're probably less likely to just get tanked and be left out there and wake up on asphalt.
Don't underestimate people when it comes to beer.
Okay.
Especially at an event when the energy's high. You're like, hey, I didn't pay anything to get here either. You know what I'm saying? Like, run it up. I was looking at that and I was like, I don't want to be around that many people.
Just jammed in.
Didn't seem like a good time to me.
You know, I was thinking about, though, that as an event, though, it is exciting. It is. Is it? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's manufactured a lot.
Maybe when you're there, though, you feel the juice in the
on the clock.
But are you staying for 3 hours and watching your team pick once?
That's a good question.
Of course you are.
Oh,
You're
that's
there
crazy.
You're there to boo the other teams and wait for yours.
See, he asked an interesting question. Yeah. If the Ravens were on the clock at, 27 or 28 or beyond that, and you invited me to
14.
go to the draft, I wouldn't go to the draft.
You were picking 14.
No, what I'm saying in this hypothetical, like he's saying, if I knew the Ravens were picking anywhere between 27 and 32.
So your cutoff is 26.5 or under, you'll go.
No, it's probably even
7. That's
top 10?
I got to be in the top 10. There's no way.
I think I'm with him on that. For me to stand there for hours and be around fan bases I probably don't like anyway, why do I want to do that?
And if it's free, you just go for the top 10 and then you just can leave. You're there for an hour.
I don't know.
Hey,
you're right.
Not standing there for 3 hours. There's no way.
No, it doesn't excite me. I agree.
Even if the Vikings were picking, let's say the Vikings were picking 30th. And I said, AR, I'm going to get you right by the stage. You got the band that won't stop playing when Roger Goodell's coming out and trying to hand out picks. He was giving them the rap signal a couple times. Like, you guys got to go. But
I like now they're going to bring the legends up, right?
Tonight.
Isn't that happen? So I was looking at, by the way, our boy Sean Merriman's picking for the Chargers.
Lights out.
And so I was looking at the list. Oh, Phil Dudley Dawson picking for the Browns. That's amazing. Get a kicker out there. Who else? Oh, McAfee's picking for the Colts.
Okay. He'll get it rocking in there.
Okay, here are the Steelers. So Joey Porter Jr. and Sr. Bettis will be back. Lynn Swann was there. Stallworth will be there.
By the way, now correct me if I'm wrong on this, because I can't remember initially why we saw Lynn Swann and Jerome Bettis. I want to say it was for the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Yeah, it was
the first time we saw them.
Cam Hayward?
For Washington's pick, right?
That's a miss. You can't roll out Steeler legends before the Steelers pick. That's a miss.
No, there's another that we're not thinking of something.
Why were they out there?
There was something, and I'm thinking
because I was just thinking just roll them out there when the Steelers are on the clock. These are Steeler legends. Why are we out here when Washington's on the clock? I didn't get that.
There's a good answer to this.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Please correct me because I was bouncing back and forth between channels, so maybe I missed the reason why they were out there.
With everything that was going on now, it's escaping you for a moment.
Okay.
We can ask Ian next, but there's a reason for it. It didn't match up with the team that was picking.
I'll tell you this, though.
Yeah.
Hell of a picture for Sonny Styles to hang up in his crib.
Yeah.
Those two guys, Lynn Swann and Jerome Bettis.
By the way, I will say this. I'm obviously, I'm a Vikings guy. Yeah. Steelers wrecked us in the Super Bowl years and years ago. But I grew up as a kid that clearly the Steelers were the Steelers, man. That was a big deal.
They were about that action, boss.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were.
And I love Lynn Swann and all those guys.
Oh, yeah.
But when they made their pick and that city shut down and played Renegade, and Tommy introduces it and Styx is on the video board, when they start playing Renegade.
What'd that do for you?
And they start showing Lambert and Noel, I'm telling you, that was a massive win, and it was the best part of that draft last night. I know it's not for the right audience. It's not for a Browns fan or a Bengals fan. And I can say this objectively. That was a moment last night.
We got a lot of people that listen to our show and station that are Steeler fans, so they're appreciating this.
It did nothing for me. Incredible.
No, it did nothing for me.
Incredible. You don't think so?
You got to understand what lens I'm looking through.
I know, but just as a football fan, you couldn't appreciate that.
No, that's not how it works.
The steel curtain, all the highlights.
Zeke, did that do anything for you?
Nothing for me.
No.
It kind of like as I was watching it, I was like, nah.
Man.
I'm just built.
No, I mean, I just think maybe I'm past it.
No, but you're talking to two guys that are division rivals with that team. You know.
Us, Ian, man. That thing was. You guys didn't get a little chill.
They were waving the towels, and I was like, no. I've seen this.
I got to blow my nose on one of those towels.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I'm glad you guys are true to You guys are true. And maybe it's because, Vikings, NFC, AFC, but the Steelers had us, man. They took something from me as a kid.
They've taken a lot.
I'm still.
They've taken a lot from me, too.
And I still was moved by that. I thought that was one of the best draft moments in years.
Remind me how my season ended and where it ended.
You lose that bet, right? That thing's never been paid.
Thanks, Tyler.
We have a bad team here. Nobody pays their debts. All right, we're going to ask Ian about it. He was right in the epicenter of it. Next, Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America.
There's no joke there.
We just are.
The Fan.
Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. As a longtime homeowner, I know how it goes when it comes to things that need to be fixed around the house and you just haven't gotten to them. Like maybe that leaky faucet that always has a drip. You think about it, but you never take care of it, and now it's just a part of the house. It's character. Maybe it's your windows that are always sticking and you can't get them open. So you just don't think about it. Who cares? Except now the weather's nice. You want to open the windows, and again, you can't because they're not fixed. Get new windows from Window Nation. They've made it easy to get top quality custom fit windows with their the more you buy, the more you save sale. You could save up to 50% off all your windows. Plus, you could get them with 0 interest for 5 years. Did you know investing in your home is actually one of the best investments you can make, especially in uncertain times? Experts report that windows retain 80% of their value. Energy efficient, beautiful windows from Window Nation with great deals going on now. Schedule your free consultation at windownation.com.
Hey, it's AR here for Germain Honda of Dublin. If you've been thinking about upgrading your ride, now's the time. It's the Honda Spring event at Germain Honda of Dublin, and they've got seriously low lease rates on the Honda HR-V and Civic for well-qualified buyers. I'm talking reliable, fuel-efficient, and fun to drive without stretching your budget. Stop by Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. Check them out online at GermainHondaofDublin.com. The Honda Spring event won't last forever.
Parents, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Go for it.
We're listening.
Yeah. Are your teens good with money?
She's a good kid.
She's the
but
best.
Yeah.
But I get it. Switch to Huntington Bank, and your teen debit card can really help.
Oh?
You can set spending limits, and your kid can track budgets, so they learn that money doesn't, in fact, grow on trees.
I think we need this.
Sounds good, yeah. We feel you, parents. Let's get more from teen banking. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
It's time to choose happiness again. With the weather being warmer, my kids want to go outside and play. But my knee pain used to ruin these moments with my kids. Until I got with Dr. Tesner and his medical team at QC Kinetics. They relieved my knee pain right there in the office that day. So if you say yes to any of these questions I'm about to ask, then you're the kind of patient that QC Kinetics regenerative treatment help every day. I have consistent joint pain in my knees, hips, and shoulders or back. Pain keeps me from getting a good night's sleep. I'm missing work or saying no to the activities that I enjoy. I don't want surgery or a long recovery. I am at the end of my rope, taking medication every day just to get through the day. Did you answer yes to any of these questions? Today could be your day to turn that corner and finally get relief. QC Kinetics are easy, done in the office here in Dublin and Gahanna. The consultation is free, so don't wait. It will be the most meaningful thing you do for yourself and the people who care about you. Call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
This is Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel. If you're driving and take a quick glance at your phone, more can happen than you might think. Because taking your eyes off the road for even just a moment is like driving the entire length of a football field blind. Don't let those few seconds distract you from what's right in front of you. Phones down, eyes up, Ohio.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Think you know Buckeye football? These two say, hold my beer. The Beat with Austin and Berm.
Sponsored by the Waterworks.
Daily on the Fan's YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A beautiful way to end the work week with daytime highs in the mid to low 80s, but it will be breezy with mostly sunny skies. Chances of showers and thunderstorms this evening with lows around 60. And then for Saturday, we do have a slight chance of showers, otherwise a mostly cloudy to partly cloudy day and cooler with highs in the low 70s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvus weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Dr.
As a Viking fan, I can tell you my soul trembled when this played last night. And maybe it's the love for sticks and the steel curtain, how much I admired what they were. And football back then was just different in a way. But that was one of the greatest moments, I think, in draft history. Maybe I'm overstating it. The other best moments are going to be when the legends come up and make the picks. When Ken Anderson makes a pick for the Bengals, when your boy Mark Ingram picks for the Ravens.
Big trust.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty electric. And the Browns are going to send up Phil Dudley Dawson. Our man Ian Fitzsimmons on the ground. Day 2 for you, my man. Are you hanging in there?
Oh, look, last night went fast, boys. Now, it was the same time frame as we're always used to. You know, we go on the clock around 7, and we get back to the hotel around 12:30, off the air around 11:30 Eastern. But last night just flew by, guys. I mean, I don't know if it's because almost every pick joined us on set that was in attendance, or it was just some of the surprises, man. I mean, some of the selections just kind of took us off guard a bit. Ty Simpson going to the Rams did not. I mean, I talked to Ty at the Alabama spring game 2 weeks ago, and I kind of hinted to you guys yesterday that, hey, don't be surprised when Ty goes in the first round and maybe higher than you think. But it flew by last night, guys. I mean, it was energetic. The crowd, we went and Jordan Reed and I went out and before the draft, about an hour and a half before everything started, and went from the stage to the game day set, and we had a quick sit down with Ryan Day, which will air tomorrow on ESPN Radio. And there was about maybe, I'd say, 50, 60,000 people there. Now, again, this is only an hour and a half, maybe hour and 45 minutes before the draft started. And I'm going to Jordan like, man, this is like 1/5 of the crowd in Green Bay or Detroit or Kansas City or Vegas. And he looked at me going, man, I'm with you. Are there some gates that aren't opened yet? Boys, when I say gates opened, holy hell. I mean, there must have been 280, 300. I know the commission announced over 300,000 last night. This thing has become one of the biggest events on the sports calendar. It was remarkable last night. It was awesome. We are sleep deprived for the next 2 days, but it's worth every minute of it, man, because this has become one of my favorite events on the sports calendar, when the great worlds of college football and the NFL collide, and we're all better for it.
No doubt. Good to hear from you again, man. But yeah, let's lock in a little more on the Ty Simpson situation. I know you said you weren't that surprised by it, but I think a lot of people are reading into Fitzy, McVay's body language and kind of tone after the pick was made and when they talked to the media. Like, what's your read on that right now?
This is more Les Snead. Les Snead knows his dad really well, who's the head coach of UT Martin. For people who don't know, Ty Simpson is a college coach's kid, and Snead has known the family for a long time. And from what I was told this morning, basically told Ty, and Ty, he didn't tell me this, right? When I asked him, hey, man, if you don't go in the first round, or I didn't ask him, I told him, I said, stick for the second. And don't leave like some guys do. You've earned the right, man. You've dreamt about going out on that stage. As a second round, he goes, Fitz, I ain't going in the second round. I can promise you. I went, whoa. He's like, yeah. And I went, Steelers, Cardinals trading back in. He goes, higher. I'm like, okay. All right. So that's when I was like, hold on. And then a couple of days ago, I started reading about Les Snead and the family relationship and the Rams. And I'm like, he's going to the Rams. I mean, that's done. And I'm not worried about me. Look, McVay, Les Snead is not drafting a quarterback unless he has McVay's blessing. I think McVay, knowing he has another window here, maybe for a year, maybe two, with the reigning NFL MVP, who my brother Devin coached for 6 years in Detroit with Matthew Stafford, I think he wanted just an impact player at 13, just to have that extra piece, just to try and get over that 31-27 hump that they had in Seattle against Little Bro Seahawks, who went on to win, obviously, the Super Bowl. But I'm not going to read too much into it. Now, McVay may ride him hard, but it's a coach's kid, so he's used to it. So I'm not worried about Ty Simpson being there. I think it's an ideal situation for him, a lot like Fernando Mendoza, sit behind a vet. Of course, Ty is sitting behind a first ballot gold jacket going to Canton, Matthew Stafford. He's going to learn what it takes to truly be a pro and prep like a pro. I think it's an ideal situation for both those guys.
Fitzy, did the Browns screw up here with Casey Concepcion and not?
No.
Okay.
Hell no.
Good to hear.
AR, man, look, so we talked about it yesterday, and I said if I'm the Browns, because the tackle draft is top-heavy, and you saw it last night, the best got snatched in a hurry. And you asked me yesterday, do you go wide receiver or tackle there? And I said best player available, but you need both. So that could be the ideal world. They went tackle Spencer Fano out of Utah.
Well, Tate was gone real fast.
Powerful.
You knew Tate was gone, so that pivoted them maybe.
Man, I've known Kyle Whittingham for 25 years and Morgan Scalley. Obviously, now Witt, you have to deal with him. Good luck there at Michigan. But, man, his teams, those offensive and defensive lines, they are nasty. And this dude is a powerful Polynesian. I mean, I love this dude. So they went with a top-ranked player tackle on their board at 6. Casey Concepcion is one of my favorite players in the draft. Not only in every NFL scout I talked to, and I talked to the same four every single week before every game, and I had Texas A&M 3 times last year. He's fast. He's twitchy. He's also powerful. He does not run away from contact. And you're getting one of the best return men in all of college football. That's the added value there. Casey Concepcion is high character. He has a speech impediment. He's been a remarkable inspiration to so many people across this country. He's going to be massive in the community, and I know football fans don't give a damn about that, but you do if he's getting arrested, and you ain't got to worry about that with Casey Concepcion. He is an absolute stud at wideout. I can take the top off of defense, and you also get one of the best return men in all of football. I loved what the Browns – think about this, guys. I love what the Jets did in getting Bailey, Sadiq, and Cooper. The Jets all of a sudden became better, and they got 3 first-rounders next year. The Browns had a hell of a day. The Cardinals had a hell of a day. And even dumbass Jerry Jones, outside of even trading in division and giving the Eagles the heir apparent to A.J. Brown and Mekhi Lemon, they even had a decent draft. Getting Caleb, going up one spot and getting Caleb Downs, my second-best player in the entire draft. So 3 dysfunctional franchises, really 4 dysfunctional franchises, actually had good nights last night in the NFL draft. I can't believe I'm saying it, and I'm sober saying it. Think about it.
It's crazy to me still, Fitzy, that Dallas and Philly did business. Like, I don't, like a couple years ago when the Chiefs did business with the Bills, and that's how the Chiefs ended up with Xavier Worthy. That, to me, was crazy. But a in-division rival, and now you got to deal with that weapon for years to come, and you may have Pickens. It
happened twice.
Yes.
It happened twice last night.
Crazy.
New England and Buffalo did it too.
Right.
You know what Tannenbaum said on our broadcast, longtime NFL GM? He goes, man, if a division rival calls me and they don't overwhelm me with an offer, I'm telling them to go pound sand. And I ain't saying pound sand on that telephone, I promise you. So, I mean, you don't do it. And the crazy thing, guys, I know there's a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans there in Columbus, Ohio also. You're about to take Mekhi Lemon. He's on the phone with the Steelers. And then the trade comes in, and Omar Khan has to hang up on him after Mekhi Lemon says to him, sir, why are the Eagles calling me? Next thing you know, the line goes dead. He's going from one side of the state to the other. That was the most insane moment last night.
Yeah. You guys remember when the Vikings traded with the Lions and they picked Jameson Williams? That was like 12.
Another one.
Yeah, you just don't do it. And how'd that work out, right?
Yeah.
You don't trade in division, man. You just don't do it.
All right, rest up. You got any favorite moment? You want to give us a quick, potential prediction or hype for tonight?
Yeah, outside of the quarterbacks, I am not a Carson Beck guy at all out of Miami. I think he'd rather look at himself in the mirror and go to the beach than actually watch film. He is the ultimate Hollywood quarterback. I am not a fan at all. So quarterbacks, I think Garrett Nussmeier is my number one on the board right now. Cole Payton out of North Dakota State, the big lefty, 6'3", 235 pounds. He is going to be a player. He needs a couple years to sit and learn. Those are my top two quarterbacks. Jacob Rodriguez is my number one guy. Linebacker out of Texas Tech. If you don't know his backstory, and I'll make it quick because I know you're clock integrity, AR, and you're probably tapping your foot right now. Maddie, reach across the table, knock the snot out of him for me, please. Thank you very much. J-Rod's wife is an Apache helicopter pilot. Let that sink in. Her twin sister, identical twins, and they almost have matching tats. She is an Air Force combat pilot. You don't think those two ladies keep that dude in line? That's why he's a boy, dog, damn warrior.
Yeah.
Jacob Rodriguez, Lee Hunter, D'Angelo Pons out of Indiana, Keontae Scott out of Miami. Top four guys on the defensive side. Go get them.
Yes, if you can pilot a Black Hawk, I'm going to step aside and admire. Appreciate it, my man. Thanks.
By the way, identical twins. Don't get them confused, Bubba, or it's church for you.
See you, buddy. Thank you.
See you, Fitzy.
It's amazing. Have a great weekend. See you, brother. That's our friend Ian Fitzsimmons, ESPN sideline reporter on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We pivot in 2 minutes to our guy, J. Lou, and we'll talk about Maddie's first place Reds. How long will they last? Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
As the seasons change, it's time to prep your HVAC system with a $49 seasonal tune-up from Columbus Worthington Air. A seasonal tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and help prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. It all adds up to dependable service from neighbors you trust. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit cwaohio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
It's time for the Great Haircut Sale at your local Great Clips salon. Your chance to get a great haircut at an even greater price, just $9.99. And money's not all you'll save at Great Clips. When you use online check-in, you can save time too. So download our app today and hurry in for the $9.99 Great Haircut Sale at Great Clips. It's gonna be great. For a limited time at participating salons.
The $9.99 Great Haircut Sale runs April 25th through May 1st.
Visit our Columbus, Ohio area salons.
Spring is here, and there's no better place to make memories than the Columbus Zoo. See tigers up close, watch playful otters, and see the baby elephants in action. For a limited time, take advantage of our Zoo After 2 p.m. deal. Plan your adventure at columbuszoo.org.
Common Man here for Germain Volkswagen. Right now, you get $3,000 over Kelly Blue Book on your trade during the Germain Trade and Upgrade Sales Event at both Germain Volkswagen of Columbus and Germain Volkswagen of Westerville. Plus, during Volkswagen Driver Days, interest rates can't get any lower on the 2026 Volkswagen Atlas and the 2026 Volkswagen Tiguan. Available to qualified customers on approved credit through Volkswagen Financial Services. See dealer for full details. Get started now at GermainVolkswagen.com.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
Hitting a hole in one into your ear hole. Ew. This is Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back into the program. Our guy, VSiN by the books, MLB Network Radio, and the former Cleveland closer himself, my man, Jensen Lewis. J. Lou, good to have you, my man. I got to tell you, I don't know how much money there was to be made. Now, there is a rumor that you did cash fairly big on the draft. I did not. The only one that I did, I believe, was the Mekhi Lemon third receiver taken. I did catch that one. I felt that was fairly good luck. But but the top 10 was all over the yard, and somehow you hit a bullseye, correct?
Yeah, well, too. Great to be with you. And the number 3 pick, getting Jeremiah Love at plus 250. Again, I was a little weary if Arizona might have traded out. I know the Rams were trying to get up there and potentially pick in that slot. So when that happened, we were in good shape. I had an Arvell Reese 4th overall at 12-1, and Arvell Reese at 50-1 for 5th overall. And when I heard Carnell Tate get called for number 4, we were pretty live, boys. So I turned my phone down. I had my wrist with my Apple Watch was blowing up left, right. I'm like, I'm not looking at anything. I'm sitting with Michelle, and I said, I just want to hear Roger say it. And I'd probably jump through the roof after that. So 50-1 outright for Reese at 5 overall. Just a surreal feeling, boys. A lot of fun.
Unbelievable. Good for you. Good.
Somebody's buying dinner
for you. That's exactly what I'm hearing too. AR. Let's start in the NL Central, and let's start with the Redlegs right now, because you look at the standings. J. Lou tied for first. Here come the Cubs. The Cubs they're cooking right now, winners of 9 in a row. But Tigers coming into town now for the Reds. Talk about that series and some things we need to be looking out for on the Reds side of things.
Yeah, great setup, Matty, and it's going to be a fun one down at Great American Ballpark tonight and this weekend. Andrew Abbott, Framber Valdez, going to be a great start as far as the mound goes. Let's face it, guys, it has been a unique start for this lineup too, and of course Sal Stewart gets the headlines. Ellie has been phenomenal, but now it's like, hey, we're looking for some reinforcements, guys. Dead last in average, they're bottom 3rd in runs scored, yet they're 11th in homers and 8th in stolen bases. So they've had to ride what has now been, guys, entering play today, the number 1 bullpen as far as ERA goes, second lowest hits per 9, second lowest homers per 9. And when they've been handed a lead, they've gotten it across the finish line, albeit that's kind of been the bugaboo here. There's been spurts there where the offense has been good. There's been times where it's been stagnant. So real good litmus test up against a really good pitching team in Detroit here tonight and over the weekend.
All right, let me go to their pen, because Brock Burke has been a nice addition here, right? It's 1 earned run over his first 10 appearances, and he's got guys whiffing at about 40%. You tell me what to expect here. And then the other part about this is, how does a guy like this get kind of passed around, right? Whether it's Tampa, drafting him, Texas, the Angels, then getting to the Reds. What did they see that others haven't?
I think it's just taking a chance too, and you kind of bring up the different stops early. He's just going to be 30 years old later on this year, guys, and so sometimes it takes a couple of stops to click. For overall this year, it's been really solid for Brockberg. I would throw Pierce Johnson in there too, guys. Speaking of acquisitions coming over from Atlanta, he has been phenomenal, especially the last 2 weeks to go along with what Santillan and Graham Ashcraft have done. Again, Terry Francona knows how to find pieces. And credit this front office, too, for being able to get some guys in camp and also some acquisitions from the outside. It's a pretty formidable group right now, and that's with Emilio Pagan. Last 2 weeks have been but overall been a very solid season, and this has been a very solid group.
All right, we got a 3-game series on deck for the Guardians, who are first in their division as well, going up to Toronto. So tonight it looks like we're getting Gavin Williams against the old vet and Mad Max Scherzer. Gavin Williams, so far through a few starts, J. Lou, talk about some of the things you've seen and liked from him on the bump.
Just phenomenal, Matty, and the swing and miss has been really good. It's elite. He's been pitching way ahead in the count a lot, just making life easy for him. And I think you're catching the Blue Jays at a time where they're still searching for their offensive identity. And, of course, you won't have Alejandro Kirk in there, George Springer not in there. So it's a very different lineup than what you've seen not only at the end of last year, but early on. Again, it's a bottom 3rd offense. They're 25th in runs and 25th in homers. But I think the matchup tonight, like if I'm Cleveland, you need to get this one, because on the horizon, it's Kevin Gausman tomorrow, who has been arguably one of the top starters in the American League. It's Dylan Cease, who leads the world in strikeouts right now. The series finale on Sunday. This is a hell of a challenge for this Guardian offense, especially with what they got coming up on Saturday and Sunday.
We know they didn't spend a ton this offseason. The early season star was Delay. louder, certainly. He has cooled off. He was so red hot. There was no reason to think that this was going to go on forever like this, but it looks like his last homer was about 3 weeks ago. He's making good contact, but talk about, even though he had a little bit of a start with them last year, a cup of coffee during the AL wild card, about the flow of a rookie and where you expect this to land for him.
Yeah, and this is kind of commonplace, right? AR, when we look at the league adjusting and being able to identify for a young hitter who, let's face it, there's an aggressive approach there, and that's probably gotten the better of him. Here's the thing that's encouraging. Okay, so he's 4 for his last 31. I know that's nothing to write home about, a $129 average. He's only got 1 strikeout, guys, in his last 36 plate appearances. So more to your idea there, AR, that maybe unlucky a little bit as far as balls in play, but the swing and miss, usually that's what we look at for young hitters, is they're not putting enough balls in play. They are getting outside the strike zone. So the aggressiveness is still there. I don't want to take that away from him. I would have to believe that he gets some positive regression here soon. Make no bones about it. I mean, these are not the 2 series to come out of a slump with the staff that he's going to face north of the border, and then when they got to come back home and take on Tampa Bay. But I am encouraged that the strikeouts are pretty much minimal, even though this has been a tough 7 to 10 days.
All right, let's go over to the NL East, because we got to talk about the Mets and the Phillies, J. Lou. I mean, two rosters that have big-time contracts on it, and you know that comes with big-time expectations. But here they both are in the basement of the NL East. I know the Mets have won a couple games in a row, but this is just shocking to me, Jensen, that you look at these two teams with the talent that they have and how much they're struggling so far out of the gate.
Agreed, Matty, and a lot predicated on the offensive struggles here. You just get Soto back for the Mets, and then you lose Lindor to the IL, so they haven't been whole for the majority of the season. That obviously is going to be issues for them to overcome. Rotation has been a little below league average so far, and outside of McClain, the rest of that rotation, even with Freddie Peralta, Holmes has been okay, but they've got issues they've got to address there. As far as the Phillies, I don't know if I could have seen this coming with how bad the offense has been to start. Now, they also have had their issues in the rotation. Outside of Christopher Sanchez, there has not been a lot to write home about. Luzardo has had issues and been unlucky. Andrew Painter, the young kid, still trying to cut his teeth here and survive and thrive at the big league level. You would hope getting Zach Wheeler back here is a nice little boost morale-wise, but the numbers don't lie, guys. It is, the third worst starting rotation ERA. They're second worst in WHIP, so there's been a lot of traffic. They're dead last in hits per 9 as far as those starters go. So that's where, I know ironically it starts, is they've got to get better starting pitching. The offense, I have to look at the back of the baseball cards, guys. I mean, they're too good and too veteran to not have this turnaround, but probably outside of Brandon Marsh, and even with what Bryce Harper's done overall this year with Schwarber, yikes. Trey Turner, very pedestrian. Bryson Stott, Alec Bohm, even the young kid and Justin Crawford, who they really liked out of camp, there has been nothing to write home about. So that's a tough way to do business. And, oh, by the way, here's the best team in baseball. Here's Atlanta, again, for 3 days after they just swept you in your own building.
All right, final 30 seconds, and I had to decide whether I wanted to ask you what in the world are loose bodies and a throwing elbow for Edwin Diaz, or how do I make money on night 2 of the draft? I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
So do you have any picks for us tonight?
I don't. And this is the very fluid part of it, AR, is, we get some, and the markets to even dive into, so difficult and not a lot offered. So this is a stand fast moment for our football wagers for right now.
Finding a home for Carson Beck or Garrett Nussmeier isn't moving the needle for you?
I mean, does Diego Pavia get my Vandy boy get his name called? We shall see.
Oh, well, he's on his best behavior somewhere. So
yeah, right.
We'll tune in, my man. Thanks so much for this. Have a great weekend.
You too. We'll talk to you next week.
There he is, Jensen Lewis, surviving on his Arvel Reese number 5 overall at 50-1. Doesn't feel like he has to one up that one. We'll come back with Tell the Truth and wrap it up. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Big Voice Guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Grilling season starts now at Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, the new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hired them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
4 tickets, hot dogs, and drinks, all for just $115. The Columbus Aviators Family Flight Plan makes game day easy. Grab yours at uflaviators.com.
Hey, it's Anthony here for Germain Honda of Dublin. Gas prices got you thinking twice about filling up? I hear you. During the Honda Spring event at Germain Honda of Dublin, it's the perfect time to check out Honda's hybrid lineup. Models like the Accord Hybrid and the CR-V Hybrid give you incredible fuel efficiency without sacrificing performance. Spend less time and money at the pump. Head to Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, and see how far a hybrid can take you. GermainHondaofDublin.com.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Save big on USDA Choice boneless chuck roasts. They're $6.99 a pound in the family pack with your card and digital coupon. Limit 5. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan. All your favorite Fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by McDaniel GM Superstore. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, Zeke, take us home.
All right, fellas. Last night I was watching the draft with a couple of buddies. I was out at the casino with Scotty Vegas and Dave Biddle.
Doing it big.
We're having a little fun, are we?
Yes, sir.
And about in the beginning of the draft, there's always that guy that's sitting with you. And for me, we talked about this earlier on. I'm not on Twitter. I don't want to see the picks before they happen.
Yep.
And you've got a guy at the table with you that about 30 seconds before every pick, he's like, it's David Bailey.
Oh, so he actually told you the pick.
He said the pick about a minute before Goodell's walking up, pick is in. Then we get to the third pick, and he's like, oh, my gosh, Jeremiah Love. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's going to be Jeremiah Love then. Do you just let him ride it out?
No,
do you say something?
Get up and move.
Do you go to a different table? What do you do?
Yes, door number 3. Immediate get up. I don't even know if I want to deal with, hey, dude, we're trying to enjoy the drama here of the draft. If you want to know the picks, keep them to yourself.
If it was one of the homies, one of my good friends, I'm telling them, you have to chill out, okay? We're all here because we want to experience the element of surprise
Clearly,
together.
Not all of you.
But my goodness, that is a party. Let me ask you this. Was that one Scotty Vegas or Dave Biddle?
My boy Dave Biddle. I love you, Dave.
I thought it was a stranger.
No, this is Bids.
Bids, that's a party foul. You guys should have made him pick up the tab or something.
The good thing is he only did it for the first 3. Then we wrote it out after that.
Did you say anything?
We didn't say anything, but I looked at Scotty and I was like, you know what we should do on Sunday on The Money? We should bring this up.
Well, so you're going to use it as content now?
So he just stopped out of the blue.
He stopped out of the blue.
Okay. So
he went through the first couple.
Okay, good.
Then he was like, maybe I won't say who the Browns are about to pick.
Okay. Shout out to our guy, Biz. He read the defense, AR, and he adjusted. Maybe he read Zeke's body language, and was like, he doesn't like this. I need to stop.
Yeah, he's just looking at him like, listen.
You know, nothing grinds my gears worse than some chowderhead who doesn't know when to keep his big trap shut.
That's what you wanted to say.
Exactly.
All right, next one here. And you guys got to tell the truth on this one because there was a lot of guys at the casino last night. I'm hearing that Buckeyes should be going every pick. I'm hearing, why not Arvell at 1? I'm hearing crazy things at the casino, right? So if it was only based on tape and Carnell didn't have OSU next to his name, does he still go at 4, or did the previous wideout success from Ohio State propel his stock?
Yeah, I think it has something to do with it. There's a great track record. These guys are all coming out. They're all doing great things. You can't hit perfectly on every one. Now, they certainly didn't draft him based on that. That's, he's the guy. He's got to be the guy. Mm-hmm. But you've got to believe that it certainly adds to the wonderful feeling of taking him.
I think 2 things can be true at the same time. And I think that applies to your question here. I think it's the combination of you turn on the tape, dude's special, but also other teams, or heck, we as a team maybe have gone shopping at that Ohio State store and gone down that wide receiver aisle and come out of that store with something we like. Yeah. So I think it's 2 things can be true at the same time. He had earned every bit of the respect he was getting throughout this process based off of who he is as a player. But yeah, for sure, branding always helps, right? And so that is I think, benefit for him, and it paid off in the form of him being a top 5 pick in the NFL draft.
They're all different, but the conveyor belt seems to be spitting out some high-end products, and you'd be more likely to hit than miss.
Yeah,
knowing that history, how they were coached, who they played with, and whatever shadow they were in. He was in Jeremiah's shadow. Now, that helps and hurts. But I'm going to answer your question is yes, it helped. But I don't think it took him from like a late first rounder to number 4 or 3 or whatever, 4. Yeah.
Next one here. And I'm always cheering for the Buckeyes. I want all of them to get drafted. But there was a little bit of gleam in my eye watching Downs fall a little. Because I wanted the Bengals at 10 to have to say, should we have stuck there? Because Caleb Downs, he turned out to be there. But they took Dexter Lawrence instead. Should Bengals fans be a little bit upset today that Downs ended up falling to 11?
I don't think so, because we were kind of talking about that a lot, AR, that like he could fall in that 10 to 12 range. I don't think it was a massive surprise that he fell there. The combination of the Buckeye and Bengal fan probably is feeling that a little bit more than maybe the Bengal fan that isn't a diehard Ohio State fan as well. I still like the trade of Dexter Lawrence. I like the addition they made of bringing in Brian Cook from Kansas City at safety. And so that was a factor in this, too, is that they probably looked around at what they did this offseason on defense and felt like they needed more on that defensive line because they had already checked a box or two in the secondary prior to the draft.
This is a good one. It's a great question. I love it. I think at the end of the day, I think they made the right call that they're in a winning window. You love what Caleb could bring to the table, everything, even in the locker room, all that stuff. But I think it's an all-in move. The Bengals have never really felt like they were going to do this, and I think it should be one of those that's applauded right now. They went all in. Mm-hmm. They've got the quarterback. They have the offense, certainly, and now they get a proven guy to help a big part of their team. So I'm going to say that they still made the right move.
And they won't be waiting around too long tonight either, right? They're picking 41 here in the second round, so a chance to better what I hope is another defensive pick for them, and maybe that's a guy in the secondary.
Yeah, the long game, that's a tough one to play if you're Cincinnati.
Yeah, because he's got so much runway left. Now, you're going to have to see him play a lot because Dallas is going to be on a lot of nationally televised games, and I'm sure he'll be playing well for them, but I think Dexter Lawrence has got some good ball left in him.
Last one here for you guys. Last night I was entertained by the draft, the trades. It was a lot of fun, but there were some people saying, did it have the juice because there wasn't multiple quarterbacks picked? Obviously, you get Ty Simpson's the second one, but in drafts past, even in 2024, we had 6 quarterbacks go in the first round. Is there more juice when the quarterbacks are there, or was last night a good, solid, entertaining draft?
I loved it. I thought the unpredictability of it wins the night.
Yeah, I'm
over
with AR.
Quarterbacks.
100% with AR on this one. If we're not going to have an action-packed draft with some high-end quarterback stuff, give me trades, give me movement, give me the element of surprise. And I felt that last night.
Had a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
didn't it?
For sure. It did.
Had some reaches.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of faller with Bain. A reach with maybe Love. It had the trades. It had a snipe of the Eagle. It had that first, and it was just cruising.
Yeah, we were moving and grooving.
Did you guys notice the 8 minutes? Did it feel like it was going faster?
Yes,
the clock?
faster.
Yeah, it did. It did. I think we go to 7 tonight and then maybe 5 on Sunday or whatever that may be. Hey, we got to go. Common Man and Timmy coming up next. No Common Man, Timmy in the house with Dane Sanzenbacher. It is Go to Jail Friday as well, so don't move.
We will talk to you on Monday. Have a great, safe weekend, and we appreciate you listening. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.